Live from the Park Royal Hotel in downtown Malaysia. That's right, we are here for the first DPC event. Well, actually, technically the second, but the first major DPC event of a brand new season. 3 months have gone by since the international champions were qualified, and we know who they were. They're not even here at the first major of the season. In fact, a lot of teams didn't make it through the qualifiers, which we'll talk all about this morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in to some high quality Dota. At least that's what we're hoping for on day number 1 of the group stages. I'm alongside 3 able-bodied men who are ready to bring you their thoughts, and all of them have, massive backgrounds of high quality and brilliant Dota, and TI amongst them as well. I'll let you figure out who's who. Good morning, gents.
Good morning.
All right.
Morning.
It's quite a chilled panel I'm feeling this morning. It's quite chilled. Obviously, Gods has lost his luggage or something.
Very chilled,
Yeah. Henrik, you're looking smart as ever, my friend. Nice pocket square there.
Yeah, just got in as well, so I'm a little bit jet lagged, but I'm ready for some good dotes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just pleased to see you here, and the fact that they don't need visas for you, obviously from Sweden, obviously helps.
It helped a lot. I was a little bit worried getting here, but no problemo.
Good. You just need to pick it up for other events. You need better.
I'll get it in time. No worries.
He's like the visa king. No, the opposite. The opposite of the visa king. How you doing, Fogt?
I'm good.
Yeah, you come straight from the minor, because I mentioned at the start, it's technically the second DPC event. Tigers are top of the DPC table.
Yeah, and they were looking pretty good. It was a fun tournament. We had, it was like 7 days, had 1 day off, came straight here, and ready for more dotes.
Wait, hold on. You had a day off?
Unacceptable.
Unbelievable. That's a ban, sir.
No, it's not. It's sometimes pretty needed. At least 1 day between every tournament.
Yeah. Okay. We should talk about the DPC itself and the fact that it's a new season. I mean, it feels weird to me. We're in November, Gods. It feels like ages ago since the international.
It's been a kind of slower build-up, whereas last year it was like 2 weeks after international. It's like, all right, let's go. First minors there, then a major, then an event. Next week it was this really crazy crammed schedule of amazing Dota, but it was kind of chaotic, and I feel like there's a really good structure here. Had our first minor, which was a lot of fun to watch. Now we're at the major, where the majors are really like the real point deciders when it comes to the international. Like, no team's going to qualify for TI by winning minors. They're going to win minors to get to majors to get points. You get points at majors. Minors, the points don't really matter. Yeah,
that's a good point this season, isn't it, Henry? Are you on board with this five minors, 5 majors, more structured this season?
Well, I think it's a bit too early to say. I haven't really gotten into it yet, so I'm not sure, but we'll see. As it goes on, we'll see if it's better or not. I trust Valve. They know what they're doing, I'm sure. Okay. So I have no doubts it's better.
Would it be better for you as a player? Let's travel potentially and less crams. So, I mean, it's still busy because there's still a lot of other tournaments, but it seems less chaotic, doesn't it?
For sure. But it's because last year was like super cramped. Like, it was 2 tournaments every month. So for a player, absolutely it's better, I would say.
Okay. Gives more opportunities for all these other teams to be stepping forward, making like new horizons and everything. Like Tigers in specific, there's like kind of new team. They have a couple old school players, but then they form up, go to the minor, kick some ass.
Yeah, but just to point out as well that everyone has to qualify this time. There's no auto qualify. I know there's pros and cons on that, isn't there? It's kind of like you sort of feel like maybe the top 4 or 6 or so maybe should just be invited, but then they've said no, that's not how it is. Everyone has to qualify this time.
Yeah, it's this equal playing field where there's no being rewarded for your past results. Everyone's going to get to see those top teams play these qualifiers as well. So I think it's great for the fans, great for the viewers, and great for all those upcoming teams, because it's like, it's not this system where, the rich get richer. Secret, EG, VP, LGD get invited to every single event after event, never have to qualify, because at some point one of those teams may have a slump where they don't qualify for a major, but in the old system they're going to keep getting invites even when they have those slumps.
I think, I mean, that's the other point. It's partly the reason we haven't got OG or Liquid here. OG for, they just decided they want time off. They're going to play RPGs or something, and Liquid for different reasons, obviously, because of not qualifying, and then obviously having to go through the minor and then pulling out. Obviously means that we don't have either of those two teams. It's a shame that we don't have them, but it's given opportunities to other teams.
It definitely has, and also we've also seen that you don't really have to do well at the beginning of the season in order to kick-ass TI.
If anything, OG knows that better than anyone.
Yeah, it's the opposite too, right?
Pick at the right time.
You don't have to qualify for TI through the DPC end of the day. If you're put together a great team a couple months before TI, that can work too.
Yeah, that worked for you guys.
Yeah,
You peaked at the right time, didn't you, for TI?
Yeah, but I would feel a bit more confident getting through to the DPC point system because it's a little bit risky going through the open qualifier and going through. You can't really be sure. Even if the best team in the world, there's a chance, the best of one, you get knocked out. So I'd rather just win a major, be secured for that spot. It'll make me feel a lot better.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit risky, isn't it? We should talk format as well, as far as the event is concerned, because we have a really good format here. I'm very, very pleased about the format here. We have 16 teams seeded into 4 groups, which we'll cover in just a moment as to which teams are in which group. You can see the 16 teams on your screen. All the matchups are best of 3, except for one exception, which is the thing I like and the players hate, which is the lower bracket, round 1, which are all best of 1 series, just like it is at TI. Every other match is best of 3, except for the grand final, which is a best of 5. So all of the teams will go through from the group stages into the bracket, which is exactly what we like. Group stages for seeding purposes, which kind of mitigates any issue we might sometimes find in the groups not being perfectly balanced.
What's our likelihood of tiebreakers in this one?
There's none.
None.
It's
Because
None.
GSL.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Fogg says thank you.
Well, you remember DAC
Yes,
last year.
yes,
We're like,
I
all
do,
right, group
I do.
stages. Let's replay the whole group stages round 2.
Yes,
So
yes, that was a bit rough. And I'm glad that we don't have to do that. Yeah, I mean, group stages is weird for us, isn't it, in a way, because it's kind of like a quick hit. We're only doing groups today for Group A and B, and then tomorrow for C and D. Are you okay with that, though, rather than we just seed into the brackets and watch them go through? Isn't it better to do those groups first?
I mean, I think in some way the groups becomes like a little feeler stage where
Right.
teams are figuring out if all their preparation, all their scrims, everything they've done to prepare is actually working. The teams who don't do well get time to adapt then, rather than be eliminated because you prepared poorly or prepared in the wrong way or had the wrong idea about Dota. You get kind of a second chance in a way. So it kind of favors, I think, more stability in the end results, where the teams who have better adapting, just have those stronger lineups, get a chance to adjust to like those wildcard teams that come out with some crazy strats.
No.
Yeah.
And Henrik, I wanted to talk to you about this format. Does it really matter to the play? I mean, like back in the day at TI, I can't remember what it is. Was it all in one group? Were you still doing one group at TI4?
TI3 was 2 groups, if I remember correctly.
Was split 2 ways, yeah. Because they went through a phase, didn't they? I think it was maybe 4 and 5 did one group, but there's a lot of games to play in there to make sure you get into the right part of the bracket.
Yeah, it definitely matters for a player, depending how good you're doing. Like, if you're doing great, you don't really care, because you're
Right.
going to make it through anyway. But I remember, like, at TI4, you got to the bottom, you were out, you never got a chance to play at the main stage, so that kind of sucks. So I always like when every team goes through, and you get that penalty of being on the lower bracket. So it's good.
Yeah.
I like that they have time to adapt to the tournament too, right? Group the first day, then they have a day break, so
Yeah.
they can watch all the other teams play, pick up things that are like, oh, that's a pretty good
Right.
idea. Let's do that in our elimination games or in our upcoming games. I think it gives a lot of chances for the teams to fix their errors. that
But
they
it's
could have
pros
had.
and cons, isn't it? Because in
Sure.
GSL, you might end up only playing 2 teams.
That is very true.
And then when you're playing a group stage, you're playing 7 teams. You get more knowledge, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch the other teams, sure, but it's not the same as playing them, is it?
And particularly when there are these groups of 4, I think the groups of 8, it's like, okay, chances are like the group's not going to be skewed or biased too much, but here it's like we've got one group which is just looking super scary, Group B.
Yeah. Why don't we take a look at those groups, actually, and we'll start with Group A, because that's the group that we're going to be focusing on to start with. And I think this is a good group too. I mean, I don't think it's the strongest necessarily, and we'll see that in just a moment. But Secret obviously coming into this in very good form. Pain Gaming also have a little bit of LAN experience already behind them. Ninjas in Pajamas, fantastic looking team on paper, haven't yet delivered, and obviously still early days for them. And obviously J.Storm missing the V off the front. But it is a completely different team in terms of lineup this season as well. So 4 well-known teams in Group A. This is Group B. And Group B, is this the group of death?
Absolutely. There's
I mean,
no
it's
question about it.
insane, isn't
This
it?
group is just
EG, VG,
absurd.
TNC Predator, and Team Aster. I mean, it's a nuts group.
The team who gets last in this group could probably get top 2 in several of the other groups. It's just how strong this group is. It's hard to say because TNC is a team that can be very volatile, but the other 3 teams are super high performing, and if TNC is at the top of their game, they can compete with all 3 of those teams too.
I mean, the problem as well with Aster, in a way, is that we saw it in Hamburg, didn't we? We saw the good and we saw the bad from them as well, and a bit of the ugly in the middle of it as well. So, again, they're a bit like TNC in this group. They could win the group,
and they've got a new player.
but they could finish at the bottom of the group. Well, they have, because they've bench the guy they find and then signed, and now they've benched him again. I don't know what's going on in China.
What D-Stones is out, right? And then
Yes.
they have what? It's what's it? You love me or something? Love me,
Yes.
love you?
Yes.
I can't remember exactly what his name is.
I love you too.
Whoa,
it's fine.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. I was asking Jack about him last night. He said he's pretty good. He
Yeah.
said he's overall pretty solid.
Hasn't
in
been
the
around
role,
for
so.
very long.
Yep.
Just a couple of years on the pro circuit in China. Hasn't really played in any of the feeder teams, which is unusual for the Chinese teams as well. But Vici in there looks strong already.
Yep.
Yeah.
EG obviously, did well at TI despite the fact that they were a relatively new team. But it's old hands. This has got one of your old players in this team as well.
Yeah,
Still playing at a high level.
Yeah, they struggled when they first came out, but EG's been looking really strong recently, as everyone expected. I'm a little bit question mark on TNC and Team Master. I don't feel like they're a little bit up and down, I feel. Not that to take anything away from them, but
Yep.
Vici Gaming as well, one of the strongest Chinese teams, so it's going to be a good match.
Yep, it's
Good
going to be a
series.
good group. Those two groups are being played today. Group C, however, is being played tomorrow, and we can take a look at that one as well. So 4 teams in this one of LGD. It's the first time we get to see them in action on international land. Fnatic also in there. Gambit and Tigers having qualified through the minor as well. So good for Gambit.
This is a killer group for me too, honestly.
Yeah, it's not as high quality as maybe Group B, but there's some definite potential slip-ups here, isn't there? You can't take anything for granted in this group.
I don't know. I was looking at these like B and C pretty even for myself, just because we just got to see Tigers. I was very impressed with them. I think Fnatic is a terrifying team to look at on paper that they can deliver. They've got some absolute all-stars, and then LGD. Which LGD is going to show up? Is it going to be the monsters of TI or the ones that we saw afterwards in Singapore? I don't think we'll see the ones from Singapore. So for me, I'm looking at this group mostly.
Okay, good stuff. God's thoughts. It's plenty of your old friends in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big SEA Dota watcher. I'm not sold on Tigers, despite
Really?
the minor victory. I think the playing field there was just not what you're going to find in the major. It was, and they still struggled their way through. I think we saw a lot of mistakes from them, even in the finals when they're winning. They're just a team who I think is not going to be able to compete with Fnatic and LGD. I think those two teams take this group easily, personally.
All right. Let's take a look at Group D, our final group of the major, which includes a team which many will have as their favourites, but they haven't started well,
Alliance.
that's for sure. I was going to let you just, come out with that. It is Alliance's group, along with Pain X, which is the second Pain team, and Forward Gaming, of course, who were J.Storm pretty much last season, plus Universe, and Virtus Pro, who come into this one as the big favourites in this group, Fogged.
Yeah, there's not much else to say about VP, right? It's been ongoing, same team forever. They should be powerhouses. They should be dominant. We've got to see them. What was it? At
Hamburg?
Yeah, Hamburg, and then we saw them a couple times on a couple other tournaments that we got to cover, and they looked pretty ready for action. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to see what no one can do.
I mean, this is what they want to do, Fogged, isn't it? This is this is their arena. This is a major. This is what they were born to win, effectively, last season.
Yeah, they removed TI, and VP is the best team in the world for like the last 2 or 3 years almost. They just constantly seem to hit a roadblock at TI, but it's the same team. They're playing just as well. It looks like they're learning new tricks. We've seen no one spamming Invoker. He's one of the best Invoker players now when he didn't even hardly play the hero 6 months ago. So they're scary because they're just as driven as ever. I think losing TI motivates you. So we're talking about a VP team that dominated the entire last year, being even more motivated now. Well, they should probably breeze their way through that group.
And your old team, they're motivated right now. Got plenty to prove. Lots of people saying they're not that good. They're not as good as the old Alliance. They won't do much with this team. They need different people in there. They need, other than Swedes. I've heard it all in the last couple of months, but here they are. They've qualified for the major.
Yeah, and they're doing pretty well. I think recently they got Boxy's rank 1 for a brief moment. I don't know what rank is right now, but he's rank 1. So they got the individual skill right there that they've kind of lacked in the past versions. But this time around, they're looking really strong, I think. And this is a pretty good group for them. VP, obviously, they're going to probably have a trouble with those. But Forward Gaming and what was the last team?
Pain X.
Pain X is probably one of the weaker teams here. So I think it's a good group for Alliance to show themselves off.
You think they can get through the group?
Absolutely.
In the top 2?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's Forward Gaming or Alliance, I believe. So pretty close there.
All right. What do you make of Loader now in a different role?
He's a legend.
He is a legend,
Yeah,
but what do you make of him in the role? That doesn't make him a good coach, does it?
That sounds like a question there,
He's a good coach. He knows everything about Dota. Like, you don't want him as a coach. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Is he too emotionally invested?
No.
No, you think he can step back and he can be analytical with the team?
Absolutely, he's a legend.
All right, I think that becomes the meme for the rest of the show, right? If we get to a point where we just don't care about the other question, we just say no, he's a legend. We'll just go with that, yeah?
It's not wrong.
All right, okay. Perfect, I like it. I don't know what else to say to him when he comes up with stuff like that. I'm like, are you a legend? Or?
No, I'm not a legend. I'm a god.
God
a
god, sorry.
Legend level.
Oh, okay. Is legend above God?
It is.
Is it really?
Want to reach it.
Wow.
I'm the bee god.
Did you say you're below? So you're below Loda.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone is.
Damn, Jesus.
That's amazing. I feel like he should
I don't know if he's praising Loda or flaming him anymore.
I can't tell what's happening.
I feel like he should be here. He should be hosting the show and all three of you at the same time.
He's taking on new roles, so you better worry.
No, absolutely.
He's going to be hosting soon.
Yeah. And doing your job.
No, not my job.
Well, he's better at getting visas.
You need many talent. It can only be one host, so...
No, but I thought you said he was a legend. He can be everyone at the same time.
He could if he wanted to.
All right. This has got very existential. Let's take a look at some money. The money that we'll be giving out alongside the very important points, which is slightly different this season. We do need to explain that to you if you're not familiar with DPC points and what happened. It basically gets you to TI. That's the bottom line. The points this season, though, gents, are team-based.
They are.
4,950 points to the winning team.
Yeah.
Which is different to how it was like, because it was per player last season.
Mm-hmm. And this year, it's like if you change rosters, you lose a % of them or something.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
I'm reading the board right now, and I'm like, wow, there's that many points.
Guys, can we get Loda here? Apparently he can explain this for us. And £350,000, dollars rather, I should say, for first place. It's $1 million overall, which is no different to the majors from last season as well. But plenty up for grabs. But the points difference is massive, isn't it? I mean, look at 13th to 16th. You get a piddly 75 points.
But you get something.
Yeah, but 4,950 for winning.
What was it last year? It was like only top 8, though, right? For the most part.
It's top 4 even.
Top 4. Top 4.
Yeah.
So that's the difference, right?
Yeah,
Fifth,
you get
fifth and sixth, you get 900. That's pretty good.
You get something.
Will it matter though? That's the question.
Well, I mean, look at the way you've got to do this, Volt. Right? You've got to finish in 5th, 6th 5 times to get the same points, almost the same points as winning 1. So win 1, likelihood is you're going to TI.
Yeah. So if you want to go to TI,
that's pretty fair.
And
yeah, that's true.
more teams are getting to TI through the DPC this year, I believe.
I don't know that.
I think they announced many teams.
Did they?
Maybe not.
I think so.
I think they announced it was
God's reveals live on air.
Was it announced at the start of the season? I think it was 10 or 12 teams.
I think it was like 2 more teams or something.
I think you're right.
All right. Let's take a look at the schedule. We have a packed day for you. It is, of course, going to be Group A that we focus here on the mainstream. As you can see, we're going to show all of those matches, bar 1, which you can see over on the other stream, which is the second match in the group stages. But we'll also keep you up to date throughout the day with all the stuff that's going on in Group B as well. Don't forget, no one goes home after the group stages, so it matters where they end up in the bracket, but not the fact that we'll just not show you any of their matches and you'll never see them again. It's not going to be the case. They will be, of course, going through to the bracket stages as well. I know that you kind of like Group B and we're following Group A. So do you want to be our designated Group B reporter?
Me? I said I like Group C.
Yeah, but that's tomorrow. You can't, unless you're Loda, you can't move the day forward.
I'll glance over. I'll be glancing to see what's going on in those games.
All right, okay. Keep us up to date. This is time for us to move on and start talking about our first match of the day.
Heavy favorites to win the major. This team towered above the competition in Hamburg and were truly on another level. Nisha and Zai joined their ranks this season, and Captain Puppy seems to have once again masterminded a world-class roster. Meta trendsetters with unpredictable drafts and winners of the EU Regionals. Please welcome to the stage, Team Secret. This unusual team is a blend of Europe, Asia, and North America. whose third-place finish in the NA Regionals for the Major turned heads. Originally called March Out of the Army as a tribute to their new captain, they built on their early success to place second in WSOE in Las Vegas last month. But Kuala Lumpur is their biggest challenge yet. Please welcome to the stage, J.Storm.
There we go then. That's our opening match of the day. Secret versus J.Storm. Of course, one favourite and one North American hopeful going head-to-head. Our panel are back to talk about these two teams. We're going to start, weirdly, I know this is a bit backwards, we're going to start with J.Storm. There's a reason for this. Someone has a birthday today. And it's not Loader.
It's me.
It is Moo. Happy birthday to the cowboy.
Cowboy.
Yeah, Moo.
Yeah.
Moo, cow.
Yeah.
Moo, cow, moo, moo, cow. Oh, come on.
How old is he?
I know it's early. 23.
23.
23,
That's
making
it.
us all feel
Young
very
fella,
old
yeah.
indeed.
So he was only 21 at TI6?
He was, yes.
Or maybe even younger.
Yeah, maybe
He was
20,
20.
I think.
Oh,
Yes.
he was 20 at TI6.
And that's the way maths work, isn't it?
That is.
Making us all feel
Thanks,
very old on the panel. Old enough to be Bulldog's son.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. Let's talk serious stuff then. Tricky to kind of talk about Secret at this time of the year, because in historical terms, every year at this time of the year, gods, they are the best team in the world because they seem to start fast every single season. This has been no different this season.
It's like the Secret formula. They pick up they change a few players at the start of the new season. They do really, really well. They kind of dominate the start of the season, then kind of drop off a little bit, have a good end, and then get like top 4 to 6 at TI. And then Puppy's like, that's not good enough. When I win TI, I got to remove 2 or 3 players. Boom, new Secret.
Yeah.
Every single year, it's like a new Secret squad.
How do you stop this cycle then?
The cycle works. Do you need to stop it? Is getting top 4 to 6
But
at TI bad?
Puppy's not a top 4 player. He wants to win.
That's true.
I don't. I always see I even talk to Puppy a lot, and I see this, and I'm like, dude, you got top 6. He's like, yeah, no.
Exactly. That's not good enough.
He's even talked a bunch of times where he's like, I don't know why teams switch rosters when they get top 8 at TI, and then every single TI, it's like,
yeah, I mean, they had the dominant one of the early days with like the Artesia 4 Secret.
Yeah.
Then there was like the Envy Pilot Die one with Weeha.
And they won the major and then changed too.
Yeah.
Could have won TI.
The universe Secret that did not last very long.
Yes, no, it wasn't very long at all.
That one changed quicker than usual. The cycle got sped up there.
Yeah.
But it's a formula that works. You bring in some fresh blood. He's made one of those fresh blood players who's now stuck around for a long time and had amazing success here. And more recently, bringing in Nisha. This guy's a new young superstar.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at our key matchup. We've picked out a couple of players for every match that we have over the next 11 days or so. This particular match, presented to you by KFC Delivery, is delivered Puppy and Moo for us to talk about.
it says age 22.
Yeah, but it was
22.
yesterday.
They didn't update it.
No, they did it yesterday.
Is this a major or what? What's going on?
Obviously, very, very different level of experience because of the major wins and the international wins and the tournament earnings and everything else. But it does show you the difference between it. It's not really
international.
They
comparable.
have Dota 1 teams. This is great. They have KS in.
Yeah.
Ben's.
Like, he
Fuck
goes back
Buddies,
a long
BFB
way.
is Merlini's. He made a team with Merlini's.
Was it really?
It's
Yeah.
called, Ben's Fuck Buddies is the name of the team.
Right.
Excuse my language, but that was the actual name of the team. Shout out to Ben Wu out there.
We're nothing but authentic on this show.
I'm just reading the team name, okay? In my head, I see BFB. That comes to mind.
It shows just the depth that he's been around this game. It's been a long time.
Because Moo doesn't even say that he got second at TI. What is going on here?
I agree.
It's very unfair and biased. Who did this?
Yeah, we'll add that in. We'll add that in. But in terms of key players, obviously, for both teams, Puppy is one of the key players. Drafting, captaining, pushing, cajoling his players into where he wants them to go.
I mean, he's on some mastermind stuff right now, right? Everybody's like, all right, let's pick some usual support, and Puppy's like, bam, Panda, bam, Tiny and Panda, bam, Legion Commander, and everybody's like, what the hell is going on right now? But it worked.
The thought is, and I read this somewhere, it's not my thing, but apparently any hero can be a support.
They did Terrorblade support last year on the App Store.
Yeah, I don't know how that works out. Legion Commander support, though, that didn't really work out. But the best way to experiment is in a real game.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be playing Prophet support.
Yeah, well, everyone's been doing that for a while. They're kind of ruining the hero. I don't like to see proper
So
support.
it's too easy it's too easy to upset Henrik first thing in the morning. J.Storm, obviously we should talk about them as well. This is basically March's out of the army boys. This is the he's finally back and he can put a team together. They've made the major straight off the bat. That's a decent achievement.
Yep. I'm just concerned about how they're going to do while they're here. I think this is what Bryle's second or third tournament he's been at.
Yeah, I went to at least one GSC.
Yes.
I'm not sure if there was a second in there.
I don't think so. So I'm like, I have high hopes because I do like a lot of these players. I think Milan is a kind of crazy player with a really different style that he does. Like he plays Shadow Demon a lot of these games, and he plays it super aggressive. A lot like his Phoenix as well. But yeah, I'm just concerned because they're #1 versus Secret right off the bat, and it's one of their first showings on lanes in a long time.
Baptism of fire, throw him in at the deep end.
Sure.
Well, Fogg is a bit biased, though. There's NA players here saying he's got high hopes here. Let's be honest, this team got third in the NA qualifier. Not that impressive. I think like this is probably one of the bottom teams.
I agree.
I said you had high hopes.
That
means you top 6.
That does not mean top 6. I'm just hoping.
High hopes means they might win a game out of a best of 3, you know?
Thank you, partner.
It's like he's comparing them to themselves, not to Secret.
Henrik, they have different standards in NA. But high hopes just means like we'll survive 20 minutes.
It means they'll give it their 100%, even if they get last place, you know?
You guys are bullies.
We give out participation awards.
I got my Christmas socks, and you guys are just bullying me around.
Well, I was going to mention these socks, by the way. I don't know if we can get a close-up. Can we get? We can't get a close-up right now. But unfortunately, I think you should put those on like Cafe Press or something. One of those marketplaces. Fogged socks.
Well, they're actually not mine.
I'd buy them.
They're Kyle's.
Are they really?
He lent them to me.
Okay.
Right. So Kyle's stolen socks.
There's some Christmas socks, and they don't match what I'm wearing whatsoever.
They are amazing, though.
Yeah, pretty good.
Who knew? We're only 6 weeks away from Christmas.
Really?
Is it really 6 weeks?
There we go. Yeah, Halloween's pass.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I am or what day it is anymore. We've been on tournaments for 7 weeks. Let's go.
Draft is underway. Good news. Good news, people! The draft is underway with some initial bans, which aren't all that out there, although there is a Brood ban early on.
This is where we find out, because we have not been we don't know anything about these teams that they've been scrimming for the past couple of days.
I thought it was interesting. I wrote this down because I watched a lot of the minor as well, and obviously you were there. The popular openings were very similar. They haven't really changed all that much. We've seen a lot of CM Tiny, Tree Phoenix, I suppose is a little bit out there, but not that out there. Ogre Lena, Ogre Weaver, CM Weaver, Axe Silencer, Tiny Phoenix. Felt kind of similar to Ham, but it didn't seem that much out there, did it? We're not seeing anything crazy.
The bans changed a little bit, though. I saw teams banning PL, TB, Morphling first 3. So they were just like, screw the carry heroes. We're going for like team fight and just lane dominance, and then it would be like an Alchemist last pick majority of the games or something like that. So there was some adaptation. I think Tiny is still one of the most absurd heroes. It won all 5 games of the finals at the minor, and it might make it through again here.
You still feel, is it flexibility? Is it because they can move it around now?
It's everything with that hero. It's so good at everything.
Yeah.
It's a problem. You can play it support or core, or you can play it mid if you want, or safe lane or off lane, and it just gives so much strong laning presence with like 100 damage versus 60 against most heroes, and then you got that massive burst on a 14-second cooldown-ish, and it's just a crazy hero, and he scales pretty well as well.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't ban... So J.Storm did not ban Secret's Morphling, but there's also a Terrorblade in the pool.
And there's an IO.
And there is an IO, that's true.
IO? Do they want to pick it up?
If they IO, then there's gonna be like a Morphling.
We saw this at the minor as well, where a team actually didn't ban out the IO. The other team let it through first pick. So no, sorry, they picked it first pick, and then they added the gyro next to it at 4.
Yes. I thought it would just get banned in the 3rd, 4th. I mean,
there it is.
Nisha's gonna take Morphling 100% in this game.
And there's some Morphax, okay. So now do they go IO gyro?
It's a question that you have to... I mean, do you want to play the gyro into the Morph? We saw it beat.
Not really. I mean, it's partly why they've picked the Morph, isn't it?
We saw it beat the Morph a couple times. You just have to have an explosive start. And I think it was Vici was the team that was doing that, right? It was with Paparazzi. They were just kind of... They looked like the best IO gyro team.
Royal Never Give Up as well did IO gyro, I think, in the minor.
Yeah, but they didn't look the hottest. And Na'Vi had strategies versus
I think it was literally just because it was there, and they were like, "Oh crap, we have to take it, otherwise they'll take it." It's kind of one of those like, "Well, we'll pick that to ban it."
I don't feel you need to do it anymore, honestly.
Do you not feel like it's as strong?
Wisp is a hero. If you look back, this hero's like so many heroes you can compare with, but still people just, it's like only Wisp Gyro right now. Always.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like there's so many heroes you can play with Wisp. But yeah, to just go back to the easy, safe hero. It gives that little 15 talent, obviously, that's crazier on this guy.
I think there's, it's your first game of the tournament. Let's go with a kind of staple standard strat. What we know.
Yeah.
It's comfort. You're versing Secret. You probably know your underdogs. Go with a comfort strat. If you get completely blown away, then maybe game 2 you bring out something a bit cheesier.
I love Secret's opener already, though. I love Nisha playing the Morphling.
Just going back to your first round picks, because first round bans, because you did mention that PL is getting banned first round now. Why?
Everyone hates. All the pros hate playing versus that hero right now, and it's.
Is it kind of to block other things?
It's so you can, if you want to get away with like the Terrorblade and these like hard carries, like Morphling.
Yeah.
Like Morphling hates playing versus PL. TB hates playing versus PL. The super hard carries don't like playing versus PL right now.
And Enigma is it's just a continuing thing, isn't it? We sometimes see it come through that first phase, sometimes it gets to second phase. Isn't it picked pretty much everywhere?
Enigma seems like pretty top tier right now because you can play it in the 4 position, the 3 position. You get countered by these silencers and whatnot. I mean, silencers also really banned this game. Yeah, so silencer's banned. It's just so strong and hard to deal with Enigma because of how strong of a laner it is and how much it just wins the late game with Black Hole.
It's cool to see Secret give respect to Milan or J.Storm. They banned the Shadow Demon. I mean, that's literally Milan's like absolute best hero. He crushes pub games. He crushes games when he's playing it. So that's interesting. But it's because they have like the Morphling and the Axe. Like it's a hard save versus Axe when he has Blade Mail. It's save one of your allies, and it's just great versus Morph throughout all stages.
Tiny ban, so comes out a bit later. Wasn't picked first stage since both teams had, kind of clear openers they wanted.
Yeah, most picked and banned at the DreamHack Minor a week ago. Inside that top 10 as well, by the way, was also the CM, which is weird, a little bit weird, because we didn't really see it as much as we thought we were going to see it at Hamburg the week before.
We saw a couple, I think Secret ran it a few times.
But it wasn't as popular as we thought it was going to be. Wyvern as well, actually, kind of disappeared a little bit, didn't it, at Hamburg, and again popped back in at DreamHack. It's got a second round ban here.
CM still feels kind of weak to me. I'm surprised it was getting first 2 picked personally at Dream League. I think it's okay to get here.
You're talking about the Wyvern?
CM.
Oh, the CM. Yeah,
here you can pick CM because all the other better supports are banned. Like Wyvern, Silencer, Bane, like Shadow Demon.
Ogre. There's still an Ogre available.
Yeah. I like it when you have when you see like you have 3 hard spammers and you 4th-pick a Crystal Maiden or something, just like, oh damn, they have like CM, Lina, like CM, Tiny, like any of these heroes that just get boosted up that much more in the early game.
This looks like, as you mentioned, feels like any of these teams definitely want to pick up an Ogre. We see that a lot where you just buff your main carry. Morphling and guy really likes this. So I'm going to see an Ogre. No Phoenix ban either. Not the greatest against Morphling and Eric because they hit so fast. But
I like the Lina ban. I think we saw a lot of Morphlings get a little, I guess the word would be exposed, sitting too low on HP, just getting Lagoona'd.
Yeah, we saw that many times at the minor.
Yeah, just people, you just don't expect this Aether Lens or this cast range talent on the Lina a lot of times. Take the Shaker.
Yep, sir. Earth Shaker makes a lot of sense. That guy is a god. And against the Wisp, always tethered Gyro, you can just slam that guy pretty easily because they always want to group up.
Do you guys think we'll see the Axe's support or core this game?
Not too sure. I think it might just be core. Now they have a Shaker to at least like fissure block the lane if they want, and we're gonna see. I mean, that lane is gonna be literally just manipulation of the creeps, right? They're gonna be cutting the creep waves and all that. IO Gyro is actually one of the betters though versus the Axe when he's cutting because you're speedy, so you actually catch him a lot of times and get several kills.
Yeah, but then you have the Earth Shaker that can just block them off easily.
Yeah.
So I think it's Axe core as well. I don't think you want Earth Shaker Axe in support. Doesn't sound the greatest. But you never know when it's Puppy.
Yeah, that's kind of why I asked as well. And it's, the Axe as a 5 kind of started because this hero does, actually secure your carries farm pretty well. You just run at people with Battle Hunger and spin, start right-clicking them.
Morphling support.
No, please no. Just let Nisha always play the Morphling. Honestly, that guy's like the best Morphling for me.
The guys in the J.Storm room have probably heard us, and they're like, what are they talking about? Morph support.
Okay,
I'm dying. Okay.
This is one of the better heroes that we've seen picked to deal with the Axe, and if he's lane versus him, but it doesn't look like he'll be lane versus him right now. But you really like this hero, right, Bulldog?
I love Undying.
I'm a big fan of it.
This hero is just crazy when you don't have the right heroes to deal with it. From a position 5 support can do so much, and really like J.Storm's lineup right now. It's the kind of lineup they need to be able to beat Secret. With the strong laners, can just snowball the game, and J.Storm is not... They don't have weak players, so if they do get that good start, they can just snowball the game.
Do you think... Are you concerned at all that they have no lockdown for the Morphling on their 2 supports?
That'll be a problem, but...
That's probably one thing I'm looking at.
They'll address it. I'm sure. They're professionals at a major.
This is true.
You know what you're doing.
They want something that can hit the tombstone, because right now they only have the Morph. Morph's pretty decent at it, but you don't want him focusing the whole time on that, so probably secondary range hero for Secret.
Very interesting.
It's like the Weaver type heroes that could work. I think that'd be like Weavers, Maranas, Clinxes against the Eye could be good. But like, then you're getting this with Morphling. Like, yeah, okay,
it's the Weaver. It's a good call. Again, no disables on the supports, so they've got now Weaver and Morphling that are going to be skittering and waveforming and running through the fights without being controlled whatsoever. So J.Storm, they really need lockdown on this next pick for me.
Yep. Does kind of raise the question of how Secret are going to lane this once again and play like some of these heroes in different roles. Like, is Weaver going to be a support? Is Axe going to be a support or a core? It's still very much up in the air what Secret can do with this.
It looks like Axe Shaker supports in the Weaver off, but we have seen 4-position Weaver now a couple times lately too. So
they also have this 3-4 swap thing going on in the team.
They do.
But if they go Weaver support, I feel like it's a little bit too slow this game.
Yeah.
You kind of usually go the Axe on Weaver, but it will take too long, and there they get a little bit locked down.
Okay.
It's still not that insta-stun. Like, most Morphlings try to get like a Morph Strength off before the center stun hits.
Yeah, that's a pretty big wind-up.
If they're ready, if they're expecting it, which they should always be alert in the major, you would expect.
How's that lane though? So if it is Axe Morphling versus Centaur Undying, that sounds pretty good for J.Storm right now if they can get that lane set up.
Yeah, you just get them to low health and you double edge them.
Yeah, exactly.
One-shot them.
Double edge plus a Soul Rip at level 2 when you're low strength. So I think Secret's probably going to try to dodge that matchup somehow.
That other lane is not that easy either.
No, it is not actually. Ben Necrophos, that makes me feel... Makes me feel like the Axe is core, but...
It feels like the only way J.Storm can win a matchup like this is if you need a good laning stage. If you have a bad laning stage, you're not going to beat Team Secret.
Yeah.
No way. So they do pick the very strong laners right now. I wouldn't mind if you just went all in with like a Dragon Knight or something.
I like this Conkaban a lot. It's one of the go-tos for me when I see IO Gyro. You just throw down the Rum. Gyro can't... The flak is completely mitigated. You have great catch that fits in with your lineup too.
I don't know what they want for mid now they ban Kunkka. They'll get Mirana.
Mirana on the other side. Okay.
I'm not crazy about Mirana, but...
It's comfort here for Bryle's probably part of it.
Yeah. I like the other 4 heroes, though, if they get the lane setups.
So, yeah, I mean, the one thing is very easy to read. So, Team Secret should know what kind of lanes are coming their way. I guess you don't know which side lane's going where if you're trying to dodge this Undying Centaur lane. And they're going to last pick Monkey King.
Oh, that's mid one's hero. He just loves this hero.
Wonder if they're going to be trying to put him against like this Centaur Undying. It doesn't necessarily sound amazing even for a Monkey King against those 2 melee bruises.
Oh, he's going to get...
I think it's going to be Nisha mid, though, right? With the Morphling?
Yeah, it's an Axe puppy.
I think it's Nisha.
Puppy Axe.
Yeah, they could do that, I guess.
So I think it's...
But I think Monkey actually loses even against the center Undying.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
loses badly, for sure.
He's definitely. I mean, I like J.Storm's laning phase, the way they've tried to set it up. If they can get those matchups. Secrets looks it's a bit greedy, but...
Yeah.
All right, let's get some predictions. Henrik?
Do I have to start?
Yeah. You're a god.
You got everything
This is
right in
easy.
Dream League.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm always right, so easy Secret, of course. Even though they got a little bit weaker lane, they're going to come back mid-game as soon as Yapsu gets the dagger.
Okay, gods.
I'm going Secret too. I don't think they have enough control to deal with Morphling, Weaver. Like, I like Secret's draft a little bit better, even though it's greedy.
Fog, this is super easy for you. Two very expert analysis, high-level analysis have both gone for Secret. Who are you going for?
I'm gonna go Secret. I like J-Storm's
I set it
lane
up, but
setup.
I kind of got it went there anyway.
I like J-Storm's lane setup and everything, but I'm 100% in agreement with Gods. I think Weaver as well as Morphling, they're too elusive. I think at one point, if they get too farmed, he's just going to turn into the gyrocopter and he's going to flak off of the tombstone and kill probably everybody.
All right, okay. There's the predictions then. Let's bring in our commentary team for game number 1 and say good morning, gents. How are you doing?
We're doing amazing, Red. We were actually just sitting here watching the draft unfold, and Kyle was hoping the entire panel would go with Team Secret so he could tell them all they were wrong.
Perfect.
I'm
What a
looking-
great start to the day.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching my boys in J.Storm take this. And
Okay, and I hope.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Please,
swap
Kyle.
places with Bulldog right after the cast so you have some real
Yep, we can do some
prediction.
1v1 with Bulldog and you. That's fine.
Well, that didn't go so well for me last time.
And this
No.
guy's clueless, honestly.
We'll see. Hey, look, man.
Guys, take it. It's all yours. Take it.
All right, well,
It's all yours.
I'm Toby1, I'm here with Clueless, and we're going to cast our first series of the day. Of course, we were talking about the draft at the very beginning, and the second you saw the Io Gyro come together, you were just like, oh, they've
Yeah.
messed it up.
So I think Secret won the opener really hard, but at the same time, J.Storm, when you play them and you first pick Wisp, you're going to expect the enemy side to first go morph. They were okay with that. They went for the gyro anyway, and I really like their second phase. I think if they play this game fast enough, there's not enough tower pressure and tempo on Secret to be able to starve a map against the high mobility. Like every hero on J.Storm can play fast.
But that's also the picks, right, of Team Secret. You're mentioning it during the drafting phase. Like they've kind of doubled down. Like they went in with the Weaver, they went in with the ES as well. Like it's just really the tempo that Team Secret wanted to have, like to actually give J.Storm the space for the Io and Gyro to be a proper combination.
I think they're fine with it. This is just their style. They like to play greedy. They usually run. They're the only team I've seen able to play Earthshaker properly with a hard 5 like melee hero. And I think Puppy's axe is probably the best axe in the world right now as far as support position. And Zai's going to go for that like build up item into Ags build. And if they get to that timing, Blink Axe, Weaver Ags, all of a sudden the J.Storm burst combo of like Centaur stun to Marana are like they have no real method of bursting anymore, and that's when they start to lose fights.
Looks like the runes can be nicely split out. No issues there, even though March was having a little bit of a tussle with mid 1 on the bottom lane. Should also mention the fact that Nisha is taking that Morphling towards the mid, and it's mid 1 taking the Monkey King down towards the south lane.
This is a tough matchup from Marana. It's deceptive because in the previous iterations of Dota, you'd expect a Marana to win the lane, but since Harass is no longer a viable option to win lanes, the 15 base damage or so advantage that Morphling has actually it's just 12. That's very significant, and Nisha's Morph is one of the best.
Did you want to actually explain that one? Why Harass is no longer the way to win a game?
Well, you just ferry yourself regen, and it's significantly more difficult to gank mid because it just doesn't happen anymore because there isn't as much value on kills. You need to stay in lanes. Every side lane is 2v2. You can't afford to go gank mid, and if you're missing, like really, what are you going to be doing?
Yeah. And Puppy has to be a little careful down here on the bottom lane. He's got Forever March looking to have a little bit of fun. I'm only saying that because Puppy's losing some life with the continuous decay. But Forev, he doesn't have enough damage. He actually went over towards mid 1 instead, but they're a little bit split up. But very aggressive with this lane from Forever March.
Yep, I like how they're playing. If you're an Undying Centaur against a Monkey King, you need to play like this. You can't allow a Monkey to just get Jingu stacks and out-harass you over time. Just spam your mana, use the mangoes, and try and find that first blood.
Meanwhile, up on top lane, like Moo and Millen, they've also been getting hit pretty heavily, but that's the reason why there's so much consumables on this top lane. It's so difficult for Zai to harass out of the lane. You've already got Yapsor pulling the creep wave a long way down, but there's no stopping Zai from going in deep. Homing missile will chase him, and Zai is on the run.
Trouble.
He should be okay. Nope, not with the Rocket Barrage. The damage is up in there.
Okay.
And thanks to the Whisper Balls, they have the damage, and J.Storm spilled the first blood.
Thing is, they also got an entire wave denied behind tower, so that's nice. Zai with a bit of an overstep, but at the same time, like that top lane is a trade, and that's just an example of how kills are a bit less meaningful now. And if you look mid, as you can see, Nisha's taking a lot of harass damage, but he's winning the lane pretty hard.
I'm loving watching this bottom lane too. Like mid one keeps getting up to 3 hits onto either March or Forev, but he never actually cracks the 4. It's the Jingu Mastery. Like they're just taking it in turns to harass out the Monkey King.
Yeah, this is okay if you're Secret. You want to just have a static laning phase and get all your core items online. You don't win this phase of the game, but once the mid game hits, you start to get some ground.
It's happening again. Yapsor's there for the pull. He's just waiting up on top lane. No matter how aggressive they want to get on the bottom, it's just disrupting up Milne as well as Moo. And what can they even do to really stop this?
Not much. Yeah, I like what they're doing here, though, stacking the hard camp and maybe try and pull that when the next wave comes through. But this is a really nice way to play with the Weaver. Shaker doesn't offer much in lane as a boots first hero, especially with no regen. But Weaver is perfectly fine, just 1v2, getting what he can, and getting that XP advantage, which is going to render him incapable of dying against a Wisp Gyro.
Yeah. It's also always
March.
nice. March, yeah, you're in very, very deep back behind the tower. A lot of damage coming into him. And when the battle hunger, Puppey can finish the job. No real problem for him there. Just kind of finding himself in no man's land.
Well, he was trying to feed himself to the tier 2. Gives a little bit of gold, but no XP, which is really the currency that matters in the early game. After Ice Frog changed Death to Newts to 26 second respawn timer. Now everyone just feeds the towers instead. So nice play from Puppey though, because it's all about that XP.
Yep. You can see it coming. He's going to chase down March as well, looking for that bottom rune. It will be the illusion, but they're going to find the kill as mid one bounces forward. March trapped inside the river with the Jingu. He's got a lot of life to work with, however, as well. So stick charges for Rev will come in to help him out. So Puppey just steals the room. Nice slap down. March, he knows he's so low. They chop him down. The Quelling Blade was available from Forev, so he locks in mid one. The stuns continue, and they're actually going to kill off mid one. He thought he could find the kill, but it won't happen.
That was really well played by Forev, and that's what you got to do against mid one's Monkey King. One of the best in the world. You got to be willing to find those trees and cut them down, because you can do that once, as you can see. It's an automatic kill. That's a 4-second self-stun.
March dies again. He was actually back at the tier 2 tower. Slapdowns there for Rev. On the run out. There's no core control from the Axe, but it won't matter. Well, actually, maybe it will. The double hoof stomp for Rev. Back underneath the tower. He's low, but he'll also have the Shrine up in 7 seconds time, but so are the bounty runes. A lot of these are going to go to Team Secret. They're already looking to take the ones up on top too. Yapsor's got Fissure in 1 second time. It's a little bit too long for him now. He'll drop it, but he's already found the bounty rune. Moo and Millen may keep the chase going with the Whisper Ball. Zai and Yapsor, they're sharing the load. One quick totem stomp, but Moo needs to move away down towards the Shrine. He does not get there in time, and so it'll be up to Zai to hit in towards Moo.
Just to note, one thing Secret did just before that was really just demonstrates why they're a tier 1 team at the moment. You don't really care so much about kills until TPs are on cooldown. So when March TP's bottom, that's 80 seconds, he won't be able to return to the lane. That's when you start hunting him aggressively. He had to walk all the way back bottom. That's a free wave of farm and XP for your Monkey King, and a ton of pressure onto the Centaur. Checking out mid lane, Nisha is expected.
Ooh. Call on bottom for Rev. Okay, Puppey doesn't want to hang around to keep going on that. At Nisha in the mid, you're talking about chasing after Bryle.
So close to taking out Bryle. Really well played. He immediately morphed, triple leaped in, juked the arrow, and then almost lands that kill. And you see part of the difficulty playing against the Morphling is once he funnels himself regen, he'll be full HP.
It's amazing too just how long this control is happening from Team Secret. They took the 5-minute runes and then instantly control up to 6 minutes. The Tombstone will be dropped down mid one. One more or two more hits onto March, and there's your control. Slapdown even clipping for Rev in the back line. They can clean up the Tombstone. And Nisha has the double damage rune, looking to actually go onto Bryle underneath the tower. No, he's not going to hit it too hard. Only got the 4 stick charges, or maybe? No, it's still too risky to come that close to the tower, even with his strength morphing. He's not going to take the risk. Oh, say again. Nisha extra help. One person is all he needed. And YapzOr came in from the side. Risk worth taking.
Nisha, I've been talking with a lot of players. This is very much a Morphling PL Terrorblade patch. The carry players that love that are going to be successful, and those are probably 3 of Nisha's best heroes. His morph is nuts, and as you can see, he has no problem playing on 1 HP. And it's nice play.
It's just so crazy low. Like, that had to be so enticing as well for Braille just to sit there and go, okay, I can take this. But that's that movement coming in. Bottom lane, mid 1 has to make a break for the tree line, but luckily he's Monkey King. So no way J.Storm can keep the control on him. But YapzOr's moving again. He's going to be down here with Poppy. So they're ready to fight. If Forev as well as March want to stay aggressive, they've got no Observer Wars to keep an eye out for this one. They just need YapzOr's Fissure to get that block in control. They're able to find it as well. Centaur Stomp will be out, but so is the Moonlight Shadow. Into the Invis and away to safety for J.Storm. And in fact, even a rotation. Brow's hanging around near the top as Moo, as well as Milim. They can go after Zai. Weaver dunked on the head by the homing missile, but with actually the arrow, yep, it'll connect. No dust available, but they just wait for the Shikuchi to be on cooldown. Then no more to work with.
They have major Morphling problems, though. Nisha doubling up the CS of Ryle along with equaling his CS and denies. This is something you're not prepared for as a team like J.Storm. You're coming from the NA qualifiers, right? There's no team that is confident running this against you. You don't think a morph mid is going to not just win his lane, but like dominate it like this. And look at this, Browse might be dead again.
Ooh. Oh, the leap forward. Arrow will miss and won't matter. Nisha just copies him and leaps forward.
It's
Bryle
so smooth.
up the hill and away.
That's so hard to do, Toby.
He makes it look easy. And then just turns the pressure onto mid lane.
And the issue with, I mean, Secret, as you can see, they went Morph Axe into a Wisp first. They wanted to play against a Gyro. J.Storm accepts the challenge, but you need to address a Morphling to win a game like this. You want to have your Gyro significantly ahead if you're going to take a game and dominate through the mid game, like sweep the map at all times. But at this rate, Secret is perfectly fine extending this laning phase because they're going to have massive advantages in all 3 lanes pretty soon.
I think right now then the critical thing is for Moo as well as Millen at one point to go down and actually claim that big stack on the Ancients. Zeiss is trying to harass them up on the top lane. They're still fine. Like, there's 1 charges, there's salves. You know there'll be bottle charges up soon. The 10-minute runes are up in 30 seconds.
But you can see, like, this is something Secret loves to do, where they enable Zai, they get all those pulls, and now you have a level 6 Weaver. You can play completely independent. YapzOr is free to continuously hunt mid and on bottom.
Yep, and there's that hunt coming in for Rev. He'll able to get the stomp. That may help him break towards the trees. Mirana's TPing in as well. They'll drop down the tombstone as mid 1 cracks into the ulti and they relocate down. But the damage onto Millen is so high, they've almost found the kill. Able to back up. The cooldown creates some space and mid 1 trapped inside of its own ultimate. It's a 2-for-1 trade-off. Nisha wants to get out of here as the bounty runes are getting picked up too. Secret, they're actually going to claim all 4 and the Invis rune for Nisha to escape. No, Moo just walks in close. Poppy, he just ran after it. Moo will have himself not only a triple kill, he wants to hunt for a little bit more. Homing missile, another rocket barrage into Nisha. He's got 5 1 charges and he's a Morphling, so they won't find the kill. But that's still the greatest fight that J.Storm could have asked for on bot lane. But they're going in again. Nisha under the tower. TP supports arrives in the form of Millen. Brawl jumps forward, but the fissures up from YapzOr too. He's got the Echo Slam available as Nisha backs up once again.
Yep. And the way Secret's draft composition comes together, that's a good example of how the mid to late game is going to go, where you have these 3 support heroes in there, 3, 4, 5, because Zai really plays as a support because they don't have an offlaner. They just have 2 4s. All of the supports enable the cores of Secret. So Nisha's not going to just have like an Axe Taunt to bank on. There's going to be an Ags on Weaver at some point, and then YapzOr's Fissures. Like, Nisha's able to play so aggressive this entire game thanks to that peel.
And they're going again. It's mid 1 and Poppy being aggressive on the bottom lane. March is nearby, Soul Rip, and then the call. Both of them trapped inside, but Forev can at least get the double edge on Poppy to do some level of damage. But then up on top, Fissure is nice. The cooldown will connect onto Zai. He's got 10 1 charges, so he'll be fine and dandy. And they'll get away, but hey, look at this again. Nisha, has he got it? Yeah, he's got it.
Like, I mean, how do you play against this? Nisha has 1200 HP. He's hitting for 130 almost. Bryle has 81 damage. that his tower is dead. Like, you can't play against Morphling anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why we brought up in the pregame. We're looking at heroes. I've looked through the list with Fogged. We don't actually know what beats Morphling anymore. Heroes like OD, Puck, AA, they're not picked. How do you beat a hero that has 80, 90 damage at level 3?
You patched to 7.20. That's the answer, right? We changed the meta.
I mean, you also have one of, like, you just have this smooth level 10 talent plus 10 agility. Love it. 1,000 gold of agility. Thank you.
J.Storm's finally getting that big stack up, and Mu, he knows he needs a huge chunk of this. Team Secret, vision-wise, they're a little bit too far away. That's why the Observer and Sentry went down pretty early from J.Storm. They are ensuring that this stack, this injection of money and levels, all go to them. Monkey King? Well, even when they push in the bottom lane, like it's like Forever's just standing guard. They've still got Stampede to get in or out, so that's a great stack up for J.Storm. They needed this momentum, and what are they going to shift it into? A fight on bottom lane? Are they ready for this?
Looks that way. Both, I mean, Secret's playing this perfectly. They keep a core in both other lanes. They have 3 heroes playing a little defensively, inviting J.Storm to make this play. And if they dive the tower, you're going to have heavy response coming in immediately.
Yeah. Zai does have his TP on cooldown, so he can't join them just yet. In fact, Nisha's heading towards the top lane. So it looks like they want to try and get some level of trade-off. Even though Braal's going to hit his level 10 in mid. J.Storm, they're coming in pretty deep. There's a slap down the gyrocopter. Here comes your first TP. Puppey able to get that call off or move, but now the call down. You do get the ulti out from the Monkey King, but mid one's taking so much damage so quickly. They burn through him. Moon needs more life. Millen can't provide it on Kenny. The Echo Slam. The attack from the tower follows him out. YapzOr has the double kill. March and Moo. That's M&M's all over YapzOr, and they're going to chase after Millen to another fissure. Nisha. Adaptive Strike secures the kill onto Millen.
Yep,
and that just stops the push.
You don't really notice it, but Morphling takes over the gyro and then obviously casts all the spells, including Flak. That prevents Millen from making any defensive maneuvers. His Urn got canceled, all 3 of his bottle charges got canceled immediately, and all of a sudden Moo's thinking that he's going to be near indestructible, but he's not getting any sustain whatsoever from Wisp because there's no ability to regen him through that AoE.
Mm-hmm. So you can't kill him, and he can become your strongest asset in the fight. This seems problematic to say the least.
Very problematic.
Especially when you don't have that axe pickup, when you don't have that ability to control him in the fights. YapzOr's gonna let the fissure off again. Perfect slap control, and they can just turn their attention over towards March, but maybe not. Relocate comes in from Moo, turns on the flat cannon, chasing down YapzOr. He's got a fair amount of kills under his belt, but he'll blink away. Homing missile will keep the chase going. It's now, well, Nisha. Well, yeah, he'll strength morph. He'll take the entire team, especially when Zai comes in through the north, and mid one will rejoin the engagement too. They need more damage, they need more control. Nisha's going to kill off March, and they can finish off the tombstone as well if they would like to, but it's underneath the tier 1 tower. Zai's not done yet. He has time lapse. He knows he can get away from the fight. Homing missile will chase him, but how many times must these fights happen when the bounty runes come up? This is now, what, 3 sets of bounty runes in a row where Team Secret take all 4?
I mean, they're playing such a brilliant game.
And they got Moo dead. YapzOr. The blink is up. They'll chase down Millen in the trees. Leaping forward. Team Secret. This one is shoved firmly in the bag.
Yeah. They just look like a tier or 2 above J.Storm at the moment. And I think that the way they're playing their draft is perfect. They extended the laning phase. They've taken every bounty rune, as you said. Totally in control of all the team objectives. And Braille just getting outclassed by Nisha. Both of them up-and-coming players. This is their first real chance on big teams. Nisha played with Kingwin, but didn't really have the greatest success, but he's proving that he belongs in that discussion of elite players.
Yeah, he missed a big LAN title, any kind of, like, even top 3 placement. I think the closest he got was 8th at a LAN event with Kingwin. Now, claiming Hamburg. Only a few weeks ago. That probability is looking very nice for Team Secret. 95, 96% as we watch it keep going. And this will increase as a tree is currently hunting Moo. It's mid one, lets out the ulti. They want that control over towards Millen, over towards Moo. They do both manage to get outside of the Wukong command. But now support arrives. Marsh just drops a tombstone and the ulti. Sora can keep him alive a little bit longer, but not long enough. The stacks just increase so easily, and they're chasing down Moo. YapzOr, Fissure timing is always fantastic. The cooldown won't hold, but the flat cannon, damn. Everybody away. That was even a good farming mechanism for Nisha. He's going to have a BKB soon, so even their magical damage is going to be, like, nothing.
Yep. I love the way Secret itemized as well. The supports don't go for the sustained support style item because they're both rushing Blink. Bottom lane, they're going to try and kill mid one. It won't work. But the cores then collect, like, they go more of this mid-game style. Zai gets the urn. Zai gets the medallion. That allows you to Rosh easier. He goes for Ags next, whereas Nisha and mid one, they go Echo Saber and then Morbid Mask and Dragonlance for the morph. So it's all about getting to using your gold as efficiently as possible to increase both your survivability and your damage, and that enables your supports then to be a little greedy, rush Blinks, which then dominates mid-game team fights.
It opens up your drafting as well, right? Like when Puppey sits there going, well, okay, can we actually run both support ES as well as Axe? Like this isn't range harass. This isn't like ensured stuns at the very beginning. It's definitely not ensured team fights. But it comes at this point when you see YapzOr with level 1 Echo Send just ready to jump, and he's also staring down the barrel of an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah. And it's just such a niche. I would say already the pickup of this new season. Puppey's tried so hard to find like the diamonds in the rough.
He had Ace before.
Nisha's just on another level. How many carry players can go mid as morph and dominate like this?
Marsh is so low. Zai, he manages to bait out the hoof stomp. Where's the extra support? There's already a time lapse back. YapzOr's got the homing missile on him. But they're not jumping for anything. Puppey's on top lane, pushing towards the tier 2 tower. So Gyrocopter, Moo TP's up underneath the cover of Moonlight Shadow, but Puppey feels it. They're already starting the retreat. His Blink's off cooldown in 2 seconds time, then it'll be out of range of Moo. And that is exactly what happens. Noah's overboard, so they didn't see them in deep. They didn't see the Moonlight Shadow being triggered, I don't believe. But either way, Team Secret dodge any aggression from J.Storm.
Yep. It's just near impossible to play the game now to J.Storm.
Stampede won't save him either. The arrow flew in from Bryle, but it came way too late.
Yep. And this is what Fog touched on in the draft as well. He liked what J.Storm did up until the Mirana last pick. It's just not a strong enough hero. It's one of those, you've won the draft, oh god.
Oh yeah, god, indeed. Moo's on the run, but you can't run from this. Nisha just keeps converting out. He's wondering who he wants to hit, but YapzOr, the perfect double's done. At this point, you may even just want to, like, you have to see the light at the end of the tunnel somewhere. You're 17k gold behind. Team Secret own every single part of your map. You do not see a way to kill the Morphling. And you still have to understand, this is a best of 3, so at least they have a second chance to fight back against Secret.
And I think that Secret's kind of proving that when we leave you a hero and we want you to take it, you probably shouldn't.
It just feels too good. Like it's Admiral Akbar.
It's just they're too strong at these meta strategies at the moment. Like I don't know why I picked J.Storm, honestly.
Well,
I forgot that Secret had won every land they played at thus far this season. And they had more versus IO Gyro. I feel like that should be enough.
And this is the kind of draft that can do it. Millen just cannot regenerate Moo up enough. The Echo Slam from YapzOr, he commits it. They want that Gyro dead. But you could definitely feel like it felt like J.Storm in the 3rd and 4th pick was starting to get some level of answers, but maybe 1 and 2 was just too far behind because Nisha, he just goes in deep. They stampede up, but really, they're not running anywhere. They're not going to be able to stand anywhere. And then the double slap from mid one. How many times can Team Secret just chain stun, and blast them off?
Nisha's incredible, man. He's played a flawless morph game. Like, absolutely flawless. And that's what Puppey and Team Secret have been looking for this entire past year, is that while Ace, Fada, those are incredible players, I think Nisha and Zai just are that step above that enable Puppey and YapzOr to look like the fantastic players they are, because they just have these incredible people to play around at all times.
Oh, Puppey's got the call again over on Moo. Millen's going to stick around with him, however. Nisha, still okay if he wants to initiate in. He has the Aegis, the Immortals, that second life. They break the tier 3 tower, but Team Secret be wise about this. They'll back up a little bit. Shrines are now open. Not to mention, it's just, well, they're under no pressure. Right now, Team Secret have this game firmly in their grasp, and it's up to them to lose it. J.Storm can only just hope for an opening. Not that I know exactly where that's going to be.
I don't think there's going to be one Topes.
Zai actually hasn't, like, with the Aghanim Scepter, even anyone they want to go on, he's just going to time-lapse whoever he wants, and then J.Storm's aggression goes down the drain. Like, Morphling is properly unkillable now.
Something teams like to do before team fights.
Nisha's baiting him. Nisha's totally baiting him right now.
He has Aegis still, too.
Yeah, he's got Aegis. He's got a time-lapse Zai who's standing right on top of the Dire Observer. So at least J.Storm have information. But what do you do with
You don't. Like,
information?
as a captain, you want to set up a team fight to tell your team how you want to approach it and win.
There's
But
the Aegis.
what's the answer? You need to stun Weaver while 100-0ing a morph with BKB. But you only have one stun.
Well, they go for Zai. There's your Hoof Stomp out and the arrow to connect, and they do find the kill. It's something. It's 3-2-3. For the goal for the death of Zai. Axe locked up as well, called down as well. Moo wants to create a little bit of extra space. Brawl has no control of the arrow, and these stuns, they keep chaining, but here we go again with Forev. That Blink Decker finally allowing him to be the aggressive force that J.Storm needed. But Nisha, Flat Cannon is up, and Forev, you don't have the life to tank through this. Nisha is beyond godlike. He's now 13-0-7 on this morph.
At this point, he can win the game by himself, and mid one could just continue jungling. All he needs is the supports and a bit of peel. But he still hasn't used his BKB charge. He's got enough gold for a Scotty. This is pretty over.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way, but you had a glimmer of hope. The fact that Centaur was able to blink forward, he got separated from the rest of his team, which was not really what he desired, but you found the kill. They were able to burst one of the heroes down, even if it isn't the Morphling. Like, they took out the other best thing. It's the Aghanim Scepter Weaver, the free Aegis of the Immortal.
Yep.
So they picked their targets nicely, and that's at least a good sign going into the rest of this series that J.Storm, even though they're down and out, they're still able to find something and coordinate even when they're under pressure. And now they're going to look for a new target. Observer, sentries, everything's down. Hoofed up Anisha, burns the BKB. Yapsol comes in for the Echo Slam. And March evaporates, but that's BKB and Echo down. But also no one dying.
Man. The thing about J.Storm's lineup is it's very mid-game, it's tempo. They only have that one stun. So to your point, they found the kill on Weaver, but
No,
they can't find kills on anyone else. Their draft is meant to get those kills and then push aggressively. At like 10 to 15 minutes, you have map control. When you're in a position like this...
Mid one throws down the Wukong command with the call down. There's a homing missile that'll connect onto him as well. Forev's waiting. His hoof stomp is back off cooldown, but the Fidger holds them out for now. It's the Sentry Ward that's there. Puppy able to get the calls only over on the IO. That frees up Moo to keep the attack going. Up, the Centaur jumps in mid one so low. The Fly Cannons reaching out to him, combining with the Undying units, but it's still not enough. The Monkey Kings can survive. And who's the one really making the sacrifice? It ain't Nisha just yet. He is low, and they finally bring him down. The money goes to Moo. 900. They're looking to actually get back-to-back kills. It's Yapsor as well. A double kill for the IO, so money in for him. The mech will be there. And Team Secret, they prove they can bleed, or at least drip, in the form of Morphling.
It does certainly feel like the closing half of the movie 300, where, yes, Xerxes can bleed, but is it really enough to win the war?
If only those reinforcements came sooner.
It is nice, though. You're finally going to be able to make Wisp Gyro look broken. It's picked primarily because when Wisp hits level 15, you get that Tether Grand Scepter bonus, and all of a sudden Gyro gets a free auto attack every 1.1 seconds, even when disabled. So that gives their damage output a significant boost, but the problem is that bottom 4 net worths are all J.Storm heroes at the moment.
Yeah. It's still not a pretty picture for them, but it's a glimmer of hope, and we'll take any kind of glimmer.
Yeah, it was also just that there was it's such a slow kill onto mid one.
Oh, the Sentry Ward. They see March just blink forward. He thought he was fine. He had an Invis rune. They dropped Observer and Sentry in the mid lane, and once again, J.Storm's going to start up a fight. Get out of there forever. Oh, the slap down. Misses from mid one. So Forever will be able to back out.
Oh, Curry.
Is this point when Millen almost wants to start with connection to Forev? Give someone else an Aghanim Scepter upgrade at the beginning and switch targets?
Who?
I don't know, like... So a Centaur's only great to get you out of there. Mirana's not that much to work with. Here they jump in forward, mid one, into the Wukong. Come on! Echo from Yapsaw, perfect hit! There's two locked down as well. They stampede up with the hoof stomp. It really only connects on one, and it ain't the mid one. He just BKBs, charges forward. There goes three. It's four as well. March is unwillingly dragged out, and J.Storm, they're pushing up the daisies. Yep. 3 heroes with no buyback available, and it really looks like that glimmer, well, it's gone. GG!
Yep. If you looked, that ward sentry combo, saw that gank coming. The dire sentry ward about 100 units away from the ward. Secret, perfectly set up. Easy, well executed. Really not much to break down in this game. Secret executed their lineup near flawlessly. Nisha's insane.
Yeah, Nisha's amazing. I like how you say there's not much to break down. It's like, well, good luck panel on that one. Like, yeah, let's break down something which doesn't need to be broken down. Hi, panel.
Yeah, it's a fairly easy job over here. 3 guys said Team Secret. 1 guy on the casting panel said it's going to be J.Storm, and the 3 guys that were experts on the panel got it right.
Let's break down how big of an idiot Carl is, guys.
0-8 in his last predictions.
0-8 now. The streak.
0-8. The spree's going to continue. We're going to keep that one written down as well.
I don't know if he's going to get back to the panel. Frankly, I think he might be just relegated to casting now.
He's doing good over there. He's doing well over there. I like Bulldog more anyway.
Seriously, it was a crushing defeat, and you guys kind of said it. Draft was good. I mean, there were some things in J.Storm's draft that were kind of okay, but it looked very straightforward. It didn't look as if it was countering anything that Secret were coming up with.
Yeah, I thought the bottom lane would do a bit better. A couple of mistakes in the bottom lane, but mid lane was just an absolute train wreck. Like Bryle, I mean, it's a Mirana versus a Morphling. It's a really hard matchup, and there's no support that can actually help this Mirana in the mid lane, right? Like, is a Morphling scared of an Io or an Undying kind of TP in when he's diving versus a Mirana? Absolutely not. Nisha's going to push the limits of this hero. It's his absolute best hero, and he displayed that this game.
Yeah, tough lane, but tough game all round, really, for J.Storm.
Yeah, it's easy to be hindsight, but when you pick a Mirana, you have to consider that Morphling is going to go mid against you, and that was obviously not the pick this game. And we see the rotation bottom from Earthshake as well. Early this game really secured the bottom lane, as Weaver can just stay top against the Wisp Gyre easily. So, yeah, just the laning stage needed to go way better for J.Storm, and it didn't. Yeah, it was hard to pick out anything positive for J.Storm in this game, God.
They got a triple kill on Moo at one point. Yeah, I saw that one.
They survived to 27 minutes. Is that a positive?
The Io Gyro, I think, did all right this game. Milan and Moo looked like they were on the same page, but it was, you're playing from behind. You can't lose your mid 1v1 that hard. We saw the highlight clip where he was getting solo killed by a Morphling, and Mirana was bottom 3 net worth. Here we are, 20 minutes in. Mirana's 3rd from the bottom. That's the game's over there for sure. But I think they showed that the Io Gyro can definitely work if they get a better draft around it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I hate their draft that much. They definitely.
I mean, none of you said you thought it was a bad draft.
I didn't get the Mirana when we saw it last pick. I was like, I didn't really understand, and we're like, it's Bryle's comfort hero, but you have to, in these type of games, if you have a good setup already for a game, like Io Gyro, Centaur, and Dying looked pretty good if they got the lane matchups, and then the Mirana it didn't seem to have any type of fit.
Yeah, I mean, it's that impact pick, isn't it? At the end, you're like, what's going to win us the game? Yeah, that's a Mirana. It wasn't that kind of pick, was it?
No, I'm not too sure what I don't know. I was trying to think like what heroes they could have put on it, but I haven't been able to actually watch Bryle too much recently. So I know he has like a little bit of different comfort heroes, but has to definitely have a bit more of a step up, especially if he's going to lane versus Nisha's Morphling. And also, I think step 1 when you're playing versus Secret is ban Nisha's Morphling.
Yeah, 16, 1, and 8 would suggest that that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Definitely a good pickup for Secret, picking up this Nisha.
Yeah.
He's working out well, isn't he, already?
Yeah, Secret has been picking up a couple new players here and there, and made one work out really good, and Nisha has been working out really good, so it looks like he's here to stay.
I like these like explosive young players that kind of come out and they don't have this fear, right? We saw it at Hamburg. It was like, hey puppy, did you give him permission to buy Rapier? And he's like, sure. Something
Not
like that.
really.
Like that kind of plays when you just it's like a risk taker. It's exciting to watch.
You need those kind of players. And I get the same. I don't know if you get the same vibe from Nisha, but so kind of when Samael came in, it's kind of like the excitement around. Oh, this kid is actually legitimately good and doesn't give a shit about anything else or any other one's reputation. He's just going to do what he wants to do in the game. He's kind of giving me the same vibe.
Yeah, I'd say definitely similar. I think Sumail's vibe was very much like, holy crap, this guy's actually dumpstering everyone mid, whereas Nisha, that's what we did see here.
Yes.
But normally he's playing in that safe lane carry role, with some exceptions. I love that Secret do become flexible with
they're moving everything around. 3-4, the 1-2. Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
Puppy plays 4 position heroes as 5s or 3 position heroes as 5s. Like, this is an axe game. Like, it's great to see.
All right, we're going to get more from all three of you in just a moment, but we're going to head to a break right now. And we'll also update you as to what's going on in the other 3 matches. Of course, don't forget Group B underway as well. Some surprising results in some of those other matches. We'll tell you about that after the break. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Kuala Lumpur Major, the first major of a brand new DPC season. And Secret, well, they've started as they mean to go on with a thoroughly convincing victory in game number 1. Best of 3, of course, so a chance for J.Storm to come back into this. And we were going to give you an update on the other games. We can kind of talk about them, but none of the other games are finished, which just kind of emphasizes the fact that Secret were just so dominant in the first game. However, TNC, I understand, God, you've been keeping in touch with that game. They're 15k gold up right now.
Yeah, they're looking
against Vici.
Good against Vici,
Yeah.
who were one of the favorites coming in this tournament. Cuckoo's playing a Crystal Maiden with like top 3 net worth or something. He's got like 14k net worth on CM, has a Shivers guard. It's like casual Cuckoo things.
Yeah, casual Cuckoo
5
things.
position tiny. We haven't seen a 5 position
No.
tiny, I feel,
Alright.
but
Yeah.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's good. And EG were doing all right early game, and then I literally breezed past and managed to catch 2 consecutive team fights, which they looked horrible in. It looked like that mid-late game's going the way of Aster.
I think people should tune in and watch that game. It looks it's going to be pretty hectic. I think Aster should probably take it late,
Okay.
but it looks pretty crazy. It's a Tinker versus a Terrible late.
And I think
so.
NIP have drafted a Drow Huskar in the first game.
Yeah, they looked like they were solid.
Yeah.
I don't know much more
Yeah,
than that.
yeah. We'll try and keep an eye on that. Henrik, do a better job. You're supposed to be
Yeah,
a
that was your
god.
game.
You're supposed to be a
I haven't watched any
god.
other game. I only focus on this game.
Oh, I thought
right
you
now.
had all 4 going into your brain at the
Oh.
same time. You were able to.
We need him to focus on this because he predicts, and then we just follow suit.
Yeah.
'Cause, Bulldog-
That's why you go first. Did you realise that? Or?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's exactly like the minor. People just copied me every time.
Exactly. I mean, if only Kyle could learn that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Poor guy's 0 and 8 right
0 and 8.
I think even the few
Jesus.
times he copied Bulldog at Dream League, it ended up being wrong. So I
Did
think
it?
Kyle's just
Well, yeah, but that's Bulldog trolling him then to make sure he like.
it's possible.
And
Yeah.
the final game, I debated him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Not a surprise, really. We're going to get to our second draft in a moment. J.Storm got a lot to talk about from the first game, haven't they?
Ban Morphling.
Yeah. Well,
and-
bam.
Okay. good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Step one.
Get rid of it. Like, let's not mess around with that.
Yep.
Do they leave the IO in? No, they don't.
No.
So those are the 2 questions we had, and well, that's it. We'll just watch the rest.
You know, for me, whenever I whenever I do say these like teams that you could say are below the other teams that are at these tournaments, I don't like when they actually go for the IO right at bat.
Right.
I think that's a hero that requires quite a lot of coordination, and you're jumping into like the first game of this tournament. You're like, all right, we're using one of the hardest things to actually run, even though it might be one of the best. It can be a little bit crazy. So I do prefer them playing just like a more natural lineup that can just kind of play itself rather than you have to risk an IO strategy.
All right. Silence and Chengon. They were both banned in the first game as well in the opening phase.
I think they should rate X high, very high.
Okay. Well, they felt like the Weaver was a bit more of a pain in that first game. So the Weaver and the Morph are reaction bans for Storm. But that does open up other things for Secret as well.
Some probably means that I would imagine J.Storm won a Phoenix early on then.
Tiny
I
went
see that.
untouched last time, right? Or was it banned second
It
phase?
was
It was banned
banned
second
second
phase, wasn't it?
phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Weaver ban's interesting because wasn't like the big problem from
No.
the last game necessarily,
Yeah.
but does speak to something that I think they want to pick that gets countered by it.
Right.
Same. Like Milan's Phoenix is one of his like one of the more played ones. That's what I would
Phoenix Undying maybe too as like a
True.
tombstone killer.
So they just open with an Earthshaker here or something? Nice and easy?
Oh, yeah,
Or the
Enigma.
Enigma, of course, got left. That was the point I was making, the 2 bans being changed, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely a block pick as well, but also something that's just very strong right now. I think J.Storm know if they don't pick it up, it's going to get taken by Secret.
imagine. Go Rubik. Right, then you got your own Enigma.
Yeah. Well,
Nice
I always love that.
It's secret.
Yeah, and when you have one of the best Rubik players in the
Yeah.
world, I don't see any issues with that. There's not a lot of teams that pick Rubik, but I wouldn't mind seeing a Yapsa Rubik.
Yeah, they did this a number of times at Hamburg, didn't they? It was the Rubik into the Enigma.
Yep, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
For sure. An X. Oh no, the tiny. Okay, I thought
Okay.
it was gonna be the X this time.
Yeah, they realised that's not going to get through the second phase anyway.
It's this is actually like we saw at the minor. We saw a lot of Pangolier versus Enigma, which was fantastic in the lane. I think Tiny's even better because it's a physical tree. It's physical damage, and so those Eidolons, sure they have high magic resist, but you throw a tree at them, and they die.
Yeah.
Pretty early on, you get so much extra farm.
And they even used both of those heroes, I think, didn't they? Pangolier and Tiny.
Yeah.
In one of those heroes, something like that. Mm-hmm. Just dealing with those Eidolons, farming them.
Has Puppy played the time before? I wonder if, we had the other game, it was a Ninja Boogie 5 position Tiny.
He played the Brew, and I think Yapsor played the Tiny
Yeah,
when it was
okay.
that
Yeah.
one that they did.
And then he played the LC
Yeah. I don't
in
think
the other
okay.
game. I don't think he's played the
Don't
Tiny as a
believe
5.
He did.
Not recently, anyway.
Okay.
Ban the Weaver, then they get the hero that kind of counters.
It's a good Undying versus Tiny. It's always pretty nice. But Rubik now has He's got some Dream stuff already being played out.
Oh, yeah. None of the big carries picked up, so now we're going to see the PL band as well. Morphling reband in the first stage. Maybe we'll see TB band.
PL just hard countering the Undying. For some reason, Lucians do max damage on the Tombstone.
I agree.
I don't know why. Frog, can you fix that?
As an Undying player, it definitely hurts quite a lot.
I don't know why it is like that, honestly.
Yeah.
You only use one button anyway, don't you?
What?
Undying.
Undying? You got like 1.5. And then when you're at Roche,
if you slip off the key, you mean? You hit
that's
the
when
other
you're at
one.
Roche and you hit the Flesh Golem by accident.
Okay.
You're like, oh, nice, Flesh Golem works on Roche. That's perfect.
Apparently the Terror Blade got destroyed.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's
Was he destroying or destroyed?
Well, he was versus Tinker Void in the late game, so I'm assuming it's probably the Terror
Probably the EG game,
dying.
that one, I think, in the background.
Jesus, TNC. They just threw a fight. It looks like they have a 3K gold lead now.
It was
What the-
15k
I think so.
like 5 minutes ago.
Well, that
The
was
graph
amazing.
was just like directly upwards.
Is
like,
this is this proper SEA Dota going on over there?
For sure. That sounds
My
like
goodness.
it. I mean, the fact Cuckoo has that much form in his CM is, I think, a bad sign. But
All right, Lina for Secret this time, which didn't get banned. Second phase as it did in the first game.
This hero is one of the best against Undying.
And the
Like,
TA got banned out as well.
Every time you play Undying, you need to have someone that can deal with the Tombstone, and then Lina has super long range, super fast attack speed, and you do want to get BKB in this here as well.
No.
Yep.
And they know it's not against TA, so it's perfect.
Yep, and it's cool with Rubik. I know mid one he goes for the Aghanims almost every game, but early game your no field actually amplifies quite a lot for Tiny and for Lina. Like those combos, they're already like one shots, right? The Lina and Tiny normally throw in a Rubik with that no field.
Yeah.
Definitely pretty strong. And we've seen I liked Secret a lot when we were in Hamburg, of course, because of the way that they did these synergy plays of like tossbacks and stuff with the Lina in particular, right? They did the tossback into Light Strike Array. They did like Rubik lift into Light Strike Array. So they're setting up for those chances with this here too, which threatens a lot of kills.
I also don't know if it is actually a mid one either. It could be a Lina support still, if they want to.
Or Zai, right?
Yeah.
So Zai played a couple times.
Lina is pretty good in the side lanes. Like if you play Enigma against Lina, Tiny or something, that's going to be very hard to deal with. Those Eidolons will die all the time.
Yeah.
So we're just hearing that Astra have taken the first game in the
Oh
UG
boy.
game.
Earth Spirit.
So
Don't see a huge amount of this.
that's their duo support. So Undying 5, Spirit.
Is the
This
is the Earthshaker still free? Just seems odd that you'd pick out the Earth Spirit instead of the Shaker.
You don't want to give Rubik more spells.
I suppose. Yeah.
Or Spirit, you can't steal anything
Yeah.
as a Rubik.
sure, that can pose a bigger threat on the Lina mid if you're going to have the freedom to rotate around as well. So I imagine they're probably looking at last game like, okay, mid lane didn't go well. Let's adjust and pick up someone that can help Bryo win his lane.
Oh my god.
Goodness.
Oh man.
This?
Do you want to do predictions now, Henrik? Or
I
J.Storm.
He's trolling Kyle now. I think just 3 picks in. This is a tough draft to beat already, isn't it?
yeah, the Earth Spirit for me, like, he's just a weird hero because he's not these great in these like side lanes, but he's ganking mid is also a thing of the past, right? Like you roll in, you miss your roll a little bit, you go a little far, you're gonna just die.
The tower changes. The Earth Spirit is always one of those heroes that, one, you need to gank the lanes or have potential to gank the lanes. If you can't rotate around killing people, this hero is useless.
Yeah.
And also it's a very high risk hero that you miss a roll and then whoop, you roll into
Okay.
a tower.
All right. So the Arc versus the Terror Blade.
This is a greedy lineup. This is not going to work.
Yeah.
This is super greedy.
Yeah.
Does Moo play the Arc Warden for them, or is that it doesn't sound like a Bryle hero to me.
No.
I'm not too sure. I think it's a Moo hero, but I don't know actually.
Does anyone on their team play it? Like actually play it?
Somebody has to, right? By default, somebody will be playing
It's
Arc
Arc
Warden.
Warden support. March.
God no. It's like one of the common picks versus the Terror Blade, but lately I haven't seen the Arc Wardens lose versus the Terror Blade.
Arc Arcorden feels just kind of too weak as a hero to me. Like, it takes so long. If you don't play that carry late game style, it takes way too long to come online.
It'll take like 40 minutes for that hero to do something.
Yes. Or if you go early game, you're like all in on some Necrobulk.
I think like with this hero, you have to have like these absolute specialists. Like I watch it's like Thompson, honestly. Like Thompson and Ace, those are the Arc Warden guys for me. If you're not like an absolute adept master at this hero, it's extremely difficult.
What about our OG boy? He was the original Arc Warden.
Who?
No Tail.
His are, I mean, I can't compare him now to the Thompsons and
But
everybody
what? Because
else
he
as
hasn't
much
played
as I
in the
love him.
position for a while. Or...
Yeah.
It's not that long ago. We're talking like
That's
a year
fair.
ago. A year in Dota?
I mean, I love Johan.
That's like
but
10 years in Bulldog's life.
I love Johan, but
It was bad.
he wasn't the greatest Arc Warden.
All right.
He was good. He was good at it,
He
but
was
like
good.
Thompson and stuff
Fine.
are amazing. Like actually amazing at the hero and innovative.
Shout out to my boy. NIP have won their first game as well, which isn't a surprise because that Drow Huskar looked pretty horrible.
Cheesing with Dro Huskar, huh?
That's not cheese these
That
days.
sounds like cheese.
That's not cheese.
I mean, that's like the ongoing story with NIP and previously Optic. They love their Drow strats.
Quite.
They love their broods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got Ace now, so
Yeah.
that makes them even
They got
cheesier
Ace
than
with
they
30
did before.
They had
Exactly.
the Visage
Yes.
cheese strats.
They've
for a
now got
while.
2 Brood players effectively in the same team.
It's gonna be a fun, dirty team to watch.
Yeah.
And the winner of that series plays the winner of this one, so we could see a secret NIP potentially.
It's true.
I think that's our second series today, the winners matches.
J.Storm, Ben Tinker.
That's a hero I would have rather they picked to deal with TB.
Yeah,
but I
me
think
too.
you can't pick it with Arc Warden, I wouldn't say. Like
Okay.
with Arc Warden Enigma, it's too greedy, but
That's fair.
it's
And the Timber on the other side, yeah, because that would have been Moo's hero, wouldn't it?
that's the classic.
It needs some here that does something. I don't know what J.Storm's lineup does right now.
They don't have any any playmaking right now is the thing that I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
And when you have Earth Spirit, you want to be able to make plays. I feel like it's going to be a really slow start for them, which having a slow start versus a Terrorblade draft and versus like a Yaps or Rubik who's going to be running around the boots early could be a bit scary.
Here we go then.
Oh boy.
Guys?
Friend?
Guys?
Well, Jimmy's got a smile on.
Guys?
Did they random?
Guys?
I don't
Hello?
like Sven as a hero right now.
Sven has many problems right now. He's too weak of a laner in the dual meta, and
Bulldog Kelper's
pick
back.
here.
Yeah, okay.
Bat absolutely destroying Sven in lane.
Yeah. That's
just
going to be a
gonna-
Zybat as well.
Yeah. It's just a lane. You
And a
lane
Puppy
versus the Sven.
Tiny.
And it's great versus Arc Warden. You catch him and pull him outside when he's trying to get bubble set up.
Yep, so the Tiny does go with Puppy. That's fun. My goodness. Right then. Do I even say the words? Predictions, Henrik. This is a tough one.
This is a prediction that even Kyle should be able to make. Honestly, I'm gonna take an easy guess to say secret.
Really?
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
shocked. Gods.
×2 secret.
Times 2 secret. Times 3. I don't normally do predictions, but I'm going to go with secret as well.
They've got super comfort heroes, and I mean, I see a Sven on the other lineup. I only saw support Sven the last month and a half from VP, and that's about it.
They've even added a 4th prediction. They were that ready for that one. It's a clean sweep then, I think, for Team Secret as far as the panel is concerned. However, hopefully that's given a clue to one of our commentary team as to where this match may go. Let's hope he's taken the hint.
Are you talking about this guy?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
meant to take the hint on this one?
Yeah. Well,
All
right.
I mean, I think you knew, Toby. Kyle, it's early. I know you're jet lagged and stuff, so there's probably a reason for the first one. But the second one you're going with is.
The reason no one picks Sven is because it's a secret how good it is.
Oh,
Right?
If it's a
J.Storm
Yikes.
learned from game one.
right.
They've got this one in the bag.
Oh my god.
It's
They're gonna lose all of their lanes.
yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You'll see. Sven's gonna
NA hope, Kyle.
we got this.
Yeah, I get to cast with you during this game. Like the,
It's gonna be
you know,
fun.
you know, I feel happy about this at least because I have an Enigma and a Rubik, and that means I get a guaranteed black hole from Yapsaw. I was actually looking for J.Storm to roll up their sleeves on the coach and do a fantastic draft, but that would actually require Jimmy to wear sleeves. Somebody get his wardrobe fixed. let's look at our lanes. Let's look at everything that's going on right now.
The way Secret drafts is so smooth, where they open with pretty much Rubik Tiny against Enigma. One dominates him in lane, one's going to dominate him throughout the game.
Oh. All right, who's going to start with the ball? Here comes a rolling boulder forward as well. Millen, YapzOr, goodbye. We're off to a great start.
Sven, baby.
J.Storm.
Oh, with the all chat wheel. Flawless. That's why you're picking Sven.
Yeah, this is why we clap like we're doing a salsa dance with the drafting from J.Storm. It's like we're doing, it's a great time, guys. It's a great time.
What's the win probability now? It's got to be at least like 70%. Look, I mean, 52%. That's good enough. Look at that, J.Storm.
Yeah.
They're favorites in this match, Topes.
Yeah, sure. I'll drink some of that Kool-Aid. I'm okay with that. Let's get a feel for our lanes. So it looks like it will be. They're bouncing the lanes around. So Secret are actually going to run the Batrider into the safe lane.
Yep.
Mid one's obviously going to be in the mid, and they're actually going to then run Nisha on the Terrorblade towards the off lane. And can you get away with this? Like knowing how much YapzOr and Poppy just move across this map.
This is the matchup you want for Secret. They want the Tiny and the Bat against the Enigma because you kill the Eidolons and kill the Enigma. Whereas TB, you don't want to play against an Enigma because even if you're winning the lane, he's getting his eye on your Archer every single creep wave. Put him against the 2 melee heroes down bottom with the Rubik. When he pops meta, you're going to crush this lane. They even get the block, so they get that easy Archer deny up first.
I like how Puppy just runs straight past Bryle. Like, he doesn't care at all. He's making it very obvious that he's rotating down towards the bottom lane. And this is what you're talking about. YapzOr is actually harassing Millen out of the lane. Nisha's already popped off Metamorphosis, so Mu doesn't feel comfortable, and they know the Puppy is on the way. He hasn't skilled up anything yet. While up on top lane, Batrider is losing a lot of life. He's at sub 500 just because of the decay from March, so he's going to be a little bit careful. But only a little bit. Without Forev having a stun, Zai is not under any real pressure.
Yeah, Secret's just, like, yeah, they're going to lose top because it's Enigma Undying, but you still have a great matchup here, and you're going to win your other 2 lanes very hard. Once again, mid one has a significant matchup advantage mid, and that's really devastating when you consider, like, the inexperience of Bryle and the 10k MMR of mid one.
Yeah. Well, that's what you wanted to avoid, right? Like, it was Nisha who dominated in the first game, and now it's going to be... It's now going to be mid one who gets to do it. Either way, the mid matchups, the drafting from Secret, so good. Top lane, Zai, he's getting really pummeled by March. He's 452 HP, but he's got Salve as well, 7 stick charges, so Batrider will be okay. And they're already looking for the 2-minute runes. That control, it's a double damage as well for mid one. At the same time as his bottle just arrived, so sure, why not?
Bryle's so much trouble already. He's getting worked.
Oh, Bolt onto the bottom lane. They're going in right after Nisha, and they got a lot of damage. March's rotation, a perfect time. That Soul Rip damage really gave them just that extra oomph. And Puppy, underneath his own tier 1 tower, they will not force it.
I like this from J.Storm. I think this is much better for them than double dual lanes. Just tri-lane down bottom. Your Undying is such a powerful laner against a TB and a Tiny. And up top, Enigma's going to be pressured. You can see, look at that creep wave coming in, but you should at least be able to trade. But Zai's doing a great job keeping the stacks up.
YapzOr's also keeping very close tabs over on Millen. He's got his telekinesis available at the moment, but Millen, he doesn't have any help coming over, so YapzOr's just posturing more than anything else. But 9 sticky napalm stacks on Forev. This TP has to come right now, and he doesn't get there in time anyway. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off. At least they can get some level of defense on the top tier 1 tower, but 3 minutes in, and the tower's at 425.
That was perfect play from Zai, because he doesn't care trading there, because 2 creep waves died to the tower, and you can see the amount of damage that it dealt. So that's a huge XP disadvantage now for Forev. He missed out on almost a full level and a half.
And they can just instantly rotate the lanes too. Like Zai's coming down towards the bottom lane. Puppy tossing March back. The Stormbolt is out from Mu, but with Zai's arrival in the lane, 2 sticky napalm, 1 in the flame break. He's just looking to stack it up and then break him.
Off lane there's like almost no heroes that are viable nowadays, but Batrider has made a resurgence because he's so powerful in these laning disadvantaged matchups. You can't play Sven or Enigma against a Bat very well, and Zai's already level 3. Like, this is so grim for Mu. Look at his CS.
Yep, he used Stormbolt to try and get that last hit on the range creep, and it still went the way of Zai. He denied it.
Yep.
So, fun times all ahead. Mid one's using the double damage to pressure Brawl in mid.
Brow's actually doing a bit better than I expected, but it's not ideal.
Good steal of the rune. Millen, Light Striker Ray, still going to connect on him, but they put down one little remnant, no way to go anywhere, and mid one is trapped in. He knows that stick charges up. He can hit another Light Striker Ray, but it's all about the Arc Warden finding a kill, while on bottom lane, it goes from bad to worse on the 5th pick of J.Storm. It's Sven going down for the first time, at least.
I mean, that was a huge kill, because they got denied the rune as well. If you let mid one get a free creep wave into rune spam, like, it just, especially when you're this ahead on a hero like Luna, or wow, Lina, you just clear the wave so fast. The Brow's always pressured. You can see the amount of damage he takes.
Yeah, now TP's coming in from the Undying, but really where J.Storm want to try and fight up on top, and Nisha has obliged them. He came out a little bit too far. The stun control is perfect, and J.Storm, they're able to capitalize on the rotation. Nisha will fall.
That's a roaming Sven, though.
He TP'd up. I think they're looking for the lane switch, so Forever can go down to the bottom lane. But Zai's already there.
This is the...
Actually, Nisha TP's to bottom lane after his own death.
Yeah. Zai's going to have a game no matter where he goes. They want to make sure Nisha doesn't struggle. Zai can do whatever he wants.
Nisha has no metamorphosis, but it's not going to stop him from trying to attack into the tier 1 tower.
Zai's going to farm the wave and the hard camp, just getting a little bit of extra GPM, and just buy space for Nisha. They're trying to do the same on J.Storm, getting Mu into the game. That was a nice rotation from him, but you can see the vision already placed by Puppey. They just want to control this bottom lane.
Yeah, March put down the tombstone. He can keep it alive a little longer, but not that much longer. So March, no way to survive underneath the tower. Meanwhile, in mid one knew this was coming. The courier went right over the top of that ES's head, but thanks to Braille having double of himself, the Spark Rays do the work. And mid one will fall, so the tier 1 tower taking a while for Team Secret to kill off. Yes, they get the Undying, but the Lina, that early CS advantage is now starting to just drip away.
This is really cool by both sides, though. I think J.Storm makes the right call abandoning bottom here, and Secret ensures that Undying can't just sit on this tower, keep it alive, and get free experience.
They're going after Yapsor, rolling boulder. The Storm Bolt sets up for it perfectly, and Forever in the neighborhood. They do a lot of damage on the back of this catapult wave, so they kill off Yapsor. And now look to claim a tier 1 tower for their own after Secret have claimed their bottom tier 1.
And as soon as Batrider shows up, I mean, you got to go for a kill right here, right now.
Yep, they're going for it. Rolling Boulder once in again. They get the silence off. Batrider still able to get a lot of Firefly damage into J.Storm, and maybe Yapsor can capitalize on it. Able to claim 1 in return, being the ES.
It was really well done by Forev there. Knowing he has 6 Eidolons, you can call for that turnaround. If you let Bat get to that tower, you're in super big trouble, because now 1 hero is pushing 3 away and getting all that farm. You need to be able to make a play like that.
Rolling Boulder. Millen's just rotating everywhere. This ES is the way he has to be played. Active across the map. Puppey TP's in. He was looking for the gank on the bottom lane, but forced to TP, but still can't arrive in time.
This is great so far from J.Storm. They're making the best of a bad situation. They were so outlaned, they had to find kills mid, and they've had to rotate heavily in these side lanes. But so far it's done well. Only issue is...
He's kicked down. They don't really have a follow-up, however. Like, a Spark Race now going to come off cooldown. You can put the bubble out. Puppey's going to arrive, and Millen, he will fall. But so much attention now being brought towards the mid that just continues to allow for Rev space to attack into Yapsor up at the top. March is nearby. They'll Stormbolt him up quickly. Everyone's nicely spaced up. Yapsor will die inside the tree line.
Thing is, bottom lane, Nisha has just got a completely free game now. He took the last hit on the tower, and he's just camping bottom, and the 2 wards that are in the enemy jungle currently keep him 100% safe.
Do you feel like, though, J.Storm have an answer towards Nisha this time around? Like, the Morphling, there was no answer at all.
They do. It's more the Batrider, I think, that's going to be an issue, but they have an Undying, which is deceptively difficult for Bat to play
Speaking of Bat, haste rune in towards the mid. No. Yes, as well as double Arc Wardens into the towers, not one side once.
Yeah. So the only real initiation for Secret is the Batrider. But if the Tombstone's down, it's incredibly difficult to get a good lasso off. And Zai is not given a lane to dominate like you might have expected considering his matchups. He's played more of this roaming support, trying to activate Nisha's game. So this isn't going to be that 14-minute blink 4-staff bat that we've seen in the past. He's going to be a lot slower, and he's actually going to be rushing bots and trying to scale and ramp up for more of like the mid to late game than for those early pickoffs.
We'll see if you can actually get there right now with J.Storm creating the space and continuing this pressure on top lane. 4 heroes move forward. They come underneath their own Observer Ward, and they're chasing down Yamsor underneath the tower. They would love the setup from Mu. If they'll come in range, now Puppey underneath that Obs too. That Lina, mid one does not have a lot of mana for this fight. He doesn't have a Laguna Blade for that pop damage. So they drop down the Tombstone. Puppey with a double avalanche, tossing back Millen, but then the kick into the Batrider. They're underneath the shrines, and now mid one can get a little bit of life as well as mana, but the problem is going to be Puppey. He brings down the Tombstone, and they retreat back to the tower, but maybe then with ES dying, J.Storm, not as strong as they probably thought they were. They have the Black Hole available, and maybe you just commit it. Zai wants to just run away from this one. The Storm bolts out. Yapsor's in the neighborhood. He's not level 6 just yet, but he picks up the Centaur, throws it back, and with that stun, creating such space. They can't turn around that easy. The slowdown, thanks to Sticky Napalm, made it difficult for J.Storm to chase.
It's all because the Earth Spirit's dead. That's their only real method of reach. Other than that, they're just throwing out stuns and trying to walk down targets. And Yapsor is going to have a really easy time in this game. He's not even level 6. Otherwise, he'd be throwing that stun out and stealing one as well.
Puppey worked it out. He knew the Observer Ward was watching him closely. Meanwhile, up on top, Silence is out on Yapsor. He's got the level 6 available. Millen picked up. What Yapsor gets is going to be the Boulder Smash, kicking Zai forward to get him in range with a lasso to pull back Millen. Puppey's there full of follow-up stuns. And with a Sticky Napalm and the Flame Break, Millen will burn, and he knows it. Tries to rolling Boulder and just delay his own death. But all this delaying is just, as you said before, buying space for Nisha.
Yeah, and I think it's telling Bryle 3-0, rush to Midas. Nisha 0-2, no Midas. But he's got more net worth. And part of that's the towers, but it's also just the nature of a Terrorblade where, yeah, Arc Warden's picked as a counter, but Nisha's smart. He'll at some point end up going for a Blink Dagger. He's going to go right on top of Bryle. Take him down to meta.
Yeah. Once he can do that, but that's why this Ven's meant to be the answer back. I see a triple stack of Ancients ready for this Ven to farm up, and he's cleaning up the bottom lane. Building into that mum as quick as possible. Mid tower will be denied by Puppey.
I've never heard it called a mum.
A mum?
A mum?
Mask of Madness.
Yeah, but you just so you're calling it the British mum, even though it's the American mom?
I'm sorry, I refuse to conform to America.
It's the acronym. It doesn't matter. So the game's pretty stacked. I actually think that even if they lose this game, J.Storm played this early game about as well as you could hope because they were really severely outlaned, and Mu specifically has done a great job making a hero that the entire panel thought was terrible look at the very least mediocre. Like, that was really well done. And that's part of why Mu likes to play heroes like Sven, because he can get active on the map. He can influence it. And if he has a poor start or a poor lane, he can actually go kill people, not just hold hands with a tower.
That's going to be like even more optimistic as this game continues on. Like, if Nibba gets a good black hole, there will be a follow-up in the form of the damage from Sven. Right now, the chase is going on from Bryle. He's only letting his clone do the front lines. Doesn't need to fight. Like, he went for a hand of Midas. He hasn't finished up the BTs. He's just gone for the Midas, a raindrop, so he's able to survive as long as possible because Mu's not ready for this. He's using the Mask of Madness now to farm up that triple stack. March will leech some of the experience and also give some life back to Mu.
They're making a good read on this situation as well. You got to make sure that that ward was in range of the Radiant Sentry, so they'll know there's a smoke bottom. And this is the benefit, and this is why J.Storm chose Radiant and Secret did in the first game. You don't care about your bottom lane. You can sacrifice your safe lane a lot easier than Dire can because it doesn't give any control over Roche. These trades always favor Radiant.
The scan pinged up, so J.Storm knew that Tiny was on the hunt, but then again, Millen and March right in behind the tier 2 tower. They're trying to chase after mid one. Line Strike Array will connect. They'll keep the silence going, and mid one, is it worth the dive? He's got nothing else to really dive, but then again, putting down rock after rock. Mid one just tick, tick, and boom. He will go down. The tier 2 tower's being pressured on bottom. Nisha using his Metamorphosis to bring that down too, but there will be the straight trade out for tier 2 and tier 2. But once again, Lina, 4 deaths for mid one.
Yep.
They are really targeting him.
This has been great so far from J.Storm. And the main thing is, like, Zai went for this mid-game build. Like, he has bots. He is not able to find pickoffs, and he's also not going for those traditional teamfight items. So Secret's trying to extend this game and just farm the map, but I don't know if that's going to work against J.Storm. If they play this right, they can hit a timing with the first or second Aegis where their teamfight might be impenetrable. Bryle, mid, trying to get the deny.
They're thinking about it. YapzOr is nearby. Forev's going to join in the fight too. Closing in on that pipe for him. It's going to take some time, however.
I'm curious to see what build Bryle's going. It looks like it'll be a Maelstrom. So he's also going for the ramp-up acceleration style. But as you can see, Nisha, even against the double Midas, Nisha's still top net worth, and he's gained in lead as well. But he's had no pressure. He's just chilling. This entire bottom area of the map is his to control.
Yeah. And eventually they'll have to deal with him.
Ooh,
but
they're trying to right now.
They do have a lot of control, and with the cover of smoke, they try and get closer. They'll see the fake one. Smoke does not break, so no attack to come in for it. And Nisha either feels it, or he's been warned by the rest of his team.
That's something I haven't seen in quite some time in my days as a player. Game sense, you carry. Recognizing the smoke. There's way too many people missing. And Secret does a great job playing around vision. We saw that initially when they went for that kill on Puppey near the shrine. And he immediately knows, okay, there's vision here. I'm going to make sure I get it. Nisha recognizing in that 10 to 15 second window that there's got to be something going down when you don't see anyone on map.
I'm wondering if March feels that he's carrying these 2 sentry wards at the moment. Moose just cleaning up the pieces. But right underneath that Dire Observe ward are 3 J.Storm players. So even if they want to come towards the mid lane, Team Secret will know about it and they're already leaving. Like, YapzOr's TPing down towards the bottom lane. They want to chase after Moo because they realize the supports have moved away. So the chase down from Zai at least got the movement speed that comes in from the BTs, but he can't close the distance enough.
Yeah, they saw there was a Spark Wraith that hit YapzOr. They knew he teleported bottom, and Moo then had a cue, I need to get the hell out of dodge, and avoids the bat. And you can already see, like, if Zai's a blink there, that's a kill. That's 2 or 3 he's missed thus far, just because of that itemization.
Yeah.
But you buying space for mid one, that mid lane was also pushed in, so Secret, even though they're not connecting on these ganks, they're growing their gold lead and they're acquiring map control.
Yep. But J.Storm are going to get even more aggressive. Moo actually went and bought the Blink Dagger. It's coming out in the Courier now. Maelstrom to go with the Hand of Midas, so Bryle's pushing power is getting stronger and stronger. And look at Millen's prep position.
They saw that, though. They saw him. They pinged it out.
So they know what does Team Secret want to do about it. Firefly up for Batrider and just come right over the top of Millen. That'll be the best way to do it. Support for him is a long way away. In fact, Zai, he just comes in close. There was a quick rock that got put down, but no other reaction from Millen's going to happen. Puppey with the Avalanche. They're just looking for as much control on that ES possible with a double kick. March with the Tombstone in behind the lines, but just isolating Nisha over on the left-hand side of this whole battle. That's the one they want to be able to kill off. The Yules kept March out of this fight. And Team Secret, so much damage. Puppey's on a B-stick, 65 HP. They are being forced away here, Team Secret. They do not want this fight.
Really well done by both sides. I think.
The Spark Wraith, it's found Puppey. He didn't have his TP. He'd only just arrived.
I like that from Secret, though. They get the kill on Earth Spirit, but recognize we need to get the hell out of dodge. And you can see the issues with the J.Storm lineup. Once that Earth Spirit goes down, they don't have any catch. All of a sudden, Nisha, yeah, he's at half HP. Moo's pinging him out desperately, but who's going to close the gap? It's team fight versus mobility and speed at the moment. And Secret is far too experienced to get baited into a terrible team fight. You cannot walk into the Thunderdome against J.Storm. There's going to be a Tombstone, a Midnight Pulse, Arc Warden spam, all this stuff that you need to worry about. Just keep shoving lanes. Zai will inevitably get a blink, and then you can start looking for skirmishes.
And then you hope in the meantime that J.Storm just don't get too strong, that once you do have that blink, once you do have the ability for Team Secret to initiate, it's still manageable. They're continuing the stacks. J.Storm making the most of this map. Forev, I believe, has the remainder of the pipe. Yep, the remainder of the pipe is coming out. So they've got both armor increase. They got the magic resistance as well. So it's going to be difficult for Team Secret to get a large portion of damage out in Bryle. Trying to hunt down Zai. Can't really close down the distance as Zai just takes to the trees, which are now dead.
Yeah, bear in mind, mid one went bots as well. So even though it looks like an even game, Secret has essentially cashed in and said we're playing for 40 minutes plus. And that's how late I expect this game to go. They want to make sure they're never on a clock, and this enables their cores to always stay relevant. Even though maybe they missed out on some kills, you know, no Shadow Blade, no Blink on Zai, they don't have any plans on ever taking a team fight. So just continue to play around the map with pace and rat.
Miller's looking for the opening, rolling boulder forward. Zai does go into the treat, but the kick is able to connect with the silence over on Zai. It's a good pick off, slowing down that Blink Dagger, and he was pretty close. He now has 2K in the bank account. What did J.Storm get? He's got demonic conversions. So, welcome to the push power of a Rubik versus Enigma.
Yep. And I feel like I've seen this game. Like I did a lot of events the last couple of weeks, Tobes, and there's a lot of games that come down to these sort of scenarios where both sides are playing in the enemy team's safe lane. Also, check out my boys' win probability right there. J.Storm, they'd win 3 out of 4. Dota Plus says, but anyway, everyone plays cat and mouse. You essentially mirror one another's movements, and it all comes down to these huge mass buyback fights around Roshan. And I expect that we're going to see something similar here.
We just saw the first ping of it, and Sven's reaching the point where he's almost ready to fight that Echo Saber.
Yep.
Is only now what 200, 300 gold away from completion.
I like that build a lot. I've seen a lot of Svens going Sanjin Yasha. I mean, we haven't seen Sven in a while, but if you go Blink, you buy Echo Saber. If you want to go the Shadow Blade build or you get SNY first, you can get the SNY. But anytime you have Blink, you get Echo Saber. And it allows him to actually have burst damage on that initial Blink in, which is something they're sorely lacking at the moment.
Blink is up for Zai. So the 2 bounty runes were split, well, the 4 bounty runes were split 2-2. So this now gives Zai his ability to jump, but as we said before, the Echo Saber will be coming on the Curry to Moo in just a bit. How's Brawl doing? So BT's, Midas, he's rapidly approaching the Mjolnir.
I like this. I mean, this is good. This is a very close game.
Yeah, a lot closer. Well, I don't think it's closer than the first game. That was one hell of a one-sided affair.
But I just like the way Arc Warden as a concept plays against Secret style, because yeah, they've itemized to rat the map and do this guerrilla warfare, but Arc Warden has a illusion that can just teleport the lanes like we just saw bottom. And now bottom lane's no longer an issue. You can 5-man Roche. I don't know if you can take this as Secret either.
Mid one has an invis room, but there's a sentry in front of the pits. There's no way to easily slip into it, but with that tombstone, there's no dire vision close enough to this. The one they have is watching over the mid lane and trying to block up the Ancients. So it looks like J.Storm will get away with claiming this Roshan. Team Secret, they're all too far away. Zai is coming in, even with the Blink Dagger. The damage output from J.Storm is just too high. They get through it, and the Aegis Immortal into the hands of the Sven.
Yeah, I was talking with Pilot Die yesterday. He was discussing how he thinks Undying is super underrated because you gain team fight advantage, Roshan. You just pop Tombstone, pop your ult, and just hit the Roche. No one takes damage. And how do you even fight into it if they know you're doing it?
Well, it looks like Zai wants to. They're going after March, rolling boulder forward. Millen able to get the kick and silence over on the Rubik. And the follow-up is still coming in. A quick defensive Yule Scepter, and J.Storm, okay, no defensive Yule Scepter. He's dead straight away with Bryle there. But the same thing will be said for Millen. Found himself in between Terrorblade and Tiny.
I'm just, you know, I'm not biased, but I can't wait to see the look on the panel's faces when they're the ones that are all wrong.
Is this why you're like, my boy?
Someone's got to believe in them. They got the Aegis on Moo. That BKB is going to be a huge timing because all of a sudden, how do you kill a Sven as Team Secret? Where's your physical damage? Yeah, you've got a Terrorblade that have a Butterfly soon. But
actually, he's not even going in for the BKB next. He's going in for Shadowblade.
It's who are you talking about?
Sven.
Oh, he just swapped it then. Wow. That's a bold move.
Unless they're like really itching on the fact that he needs to be the big initiation. Because you look at Forev's build, he is full defense. There's no Blink Dagger on this. What's J.Storm got? More conversions. Yeah. But they want to try and kill him off.
And I mean, Nisha's also, I mean, the Butterfly means he's playing for the later game. Secret is going to ignore this Aegis. They know that it's near impossible for J.Storm to end the game. They'll sack a couple towers, but look at the way they're playing. Nisha bottom, mid one top. They're constantly keeping members of their team in all 3 lanes, and J.Storm then loses momentum by being forced to stay as 5 and try and shove down later. Look at Secret.
Yeah. Team Secret have established so much vision control over the bottom part of the lane. Like I've seen 3 observer wards, how many? That's like 3 sentries, 4 sentries, even more. Just making sure that the entire south belongs to Nisha. If they want to push mid, fine. Unless they push a tier 3 tower, is Team Secret under any real pressure to do anything? They're going to find Zai, but alright, gank will succeed. That's God's strength being burnt.
You take that though. You take what you can get in this sort of scenario. It's all about catching the lanes, because in the mid, you're still pressuring. Bottom, Brawl's going to TP down to address the Terrorblade's push, and it's just always a scary position to be in against a team as experienced as Secret, because eventually it feels like you're going to make a mistake, and there's going to be a mid one there coming out of Invis. There's going to be a lasso, and you're going to get punished by looking too many places around the map with your hand caught in too many
Speaking
lanes.
of mid one, he's there for Rev. Well, there goes your kick. It won't hit. Mid one and Poppy move forward, and Millen cannot create the space for Rev to survive. I think it was dead anyway. Poppy had him up in the air.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. They TP'd Undying to bottom along with Bryle. They find they kill top, but Forev then caught mid.
And they're going to find another target. How many times can mid one just do this? He's going to find Bryle, and he actually starts with the Lion Strike Array, but March is nearby to get the Soul Rip for extra life, and Puppy is the one kind of stranded. So mid one needs to create more space with another Lion Strike Array, able to hit onto March. And where's the support? It's actually coming in from the Trader Catapult. Running forward, the kick, it actually cancels the TP out of mid one, and this will be both Puppy and mid one going down. Defensive Yule Scepter, Shadow Blades have put on in 1 second time, so mid one into Invis, but they have Dust Available, so both will fall. But up on the top lane, as you said, Aegis Immortal is going to break. Zai is so low on life. Have they got the control? A quick lift. Oh, up and towards the edge. Sven comes back down again. Storm Bolt's available. Moo triggers the God Strength. He needs to hit hard, but can't hit hard enough. Yapsaw will survive. And Sven, they're able to burn through both of his lives.
And it just, excellent job once again by Secret. They're cutting their losses, and they do this so well, where they know down bottom, that's the mid one and Puppy show. Yapsaw's got his eyes on top. Nisha's got his eyes on creeps. He calls for the rotation. They get Sven and the Aegis, all set up by Zai, ensuring that Moo wasn't able to get away. Got a little aggressive. There's no need for him to be that close to the tier 3, but that's... You're not expecting this sort of pace when you come into games. This is one of the best teams in the world. You've got to be that little bit faster or you get caught. As Forev, then Bryle, and then Moo have to realize.
It does still kind of feel like J.Storm got the gold advantage. I think they claimed all 4 of the 25-minute bounty runes. So we saw Team Secret doing that back to back to back to back, like in game 1. Now game 2 is a little bit more split, but it does feel like J.Storm at least have the money advantage. And they're pushing, and they're going in a long way. Nisha. Oh, okay. A quick blink out by the ES. You really did not want that.
The bottom. Bryle, I don't know if you die to mid one here, though. He's got 2,000 HP. But there's always the threat of someone else possibly teleporting in.
How do you even stop that? Like, okay, there's a Gem of True Set on March, so they're at least going to shut down the extra vision of Secret. So if mid one wants to go hunting for these kills under the cover of Shadowblade, he'll have to do it riskily into Fog of War.
Yep.
But I suppose there's a way around that. You just bring in 3 heroes for support under the cover of smoke. And then you can find your opening. But with the lane being pushed out by Dragon Slave and Lion Strike Array, J.Storm knows what's going on.
Yeah, but it's just so scary. Look at the pressure Secret's outputting.
Bryle's out for a hunt. Comes underneath the Dire Observer ward. He'll find Puppy. Already putting down the bubble. They want to try and go onto this. And
they're all under that ward, though.
Yeah, Puppy. Damn, that amount of damage coming in from Bryle. Remember, that's only the clone.
This is dangerous. Zai's going to find somebody.
A blink, lasso, he found much. A quick disarm and the kick. They use the Midnight Pulse to clean up the tree line. See so much information of Team Secret, and Yapsaw's now on the run. Blink Dagger comes off cooldown, so he'll get away to safety. Mid one, Lion Strike Array does not connect onto March. In fact, reveals the fact he's down there, so Moo goes for the jump. Puppy creating some level of space. Another quick kick. They've got the Sentry Ward, and they burn the dust. That is 2 layers of insurance.
Yep. And Secret, they realize like they can't take fights. So the moment I feel like the moment they even lassoed Undying, they realize, wait, we can't do this. J.Storm's here. And they're doing a good job of cutting their losses, sort of keeping an even game, but at a certain point, you got to be afraid of your Secret. Like, the Enigma's got his GPM talent up. There's an Arc Warden who's at a double Midas now for almost 25 minutes. It's getting scary. And yes, Sven is not pick. Oh, top, they glyph the creep.
To try and get that jump in onto Zai, he's able to get the dust off. So they do see Moo, and Moo has no way to get away from this. Nisha, a double damage rune on the Terrorblade. 279 plus 320. He's looking real strong, and they'll have the creep wave with them, so they can keep this push going to the tier 2 tower if their heart does desire.
You can see Secret, when they make mistakes, it's as a team in a way. They're looking for a skirmish. They realize J.Storm's ready. They cut their losses immediately. But it's so easy for them to punish J.Storm, where it's these individual errors that lead to then these pickoffs and a complete loss of map control. And in this case, maybe even a tower. But again, Secret, they're playing smart. They get the kill. They're going to back away, continue expanding their lead, and once again, pushing all 3 lanes.
Yeah. Because they got the time, right? Like, YapzOr's going in for... I've been waiting for the big team fight that we normally have with an Enigma. And like, Team Secret have denied it time and time again. But if YapzOr gets that Aghanim Scepter up, Team Secret are just enabled massively. There's a reason why this guy is respected on his Rubik.
You just got to be your favorite meta. You just want to yell black hole loudly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I want to see 2 black holes at the same time, please. Like this... or back to back. Like, I'm fine with that. I'm maybe not so much of a fan of the Arc Warden and Terrorblade.
You might get it soon, because we've got both teams smoked, and we might have our first actual clash coming up soon.
Yeah, Observer and Sentry from J.Storm's a little bit further back. They're going to find the first target. This is Rubik, but he's just tanking through it. He's got the Yule Scepter up as well. He bought so much time. YapzOr will finally die, but Enigma was the cost. I get nothing of what I want. And neither did these teams.
I mean,
they're all backing out. They're all just running away.
Well, your favorite heroes are made of wet origami at the moment, because Enigma died to a TB illusion in the lasso, and Rubik, I mean, the moment you're stunned in that position, you're going down 100%. Moo's hunting, though. He won't find anybody, because once again, look at the wording from Secret. They not only, they trade, sure, but they establish dominance in this area of the map, and Roach is going to respawn in 1 minute 50 seconds. And they need to find kills on these wards positioning. You can't invade the pit against J.Storm, but if you find a pickoff as they approach, it's different.
He's so close. Does Moo want to go for him? Here comes the Storm Bolt. Poppy won't get caught by this. We'll let the Avalanche fly forward. So Moo, now with a kick, he'll connect over on 2, but Zai went invis. He had the Rune available, and the rolling ball to YapzOr! Grabbing Millen mid-roll. And they want to go for more. Poppy with the Blink Dagger. The Hex is up for Brawl. They weren't ready for that one. Poppy now underneath the Tombstone. Are they going to have enough to fight this one? They get rid of the Tombstone. March actually soul ripped himself to try and survive a little bit longer. But the Death Tombstone will arrive. Another thing just to be farmed up. More money for Team Secret. And 2 heroes down for J.Storm as Roshan is spawned. He's still a minute away. So they don't have the window to crack Roshan, but they'll crack the mid tier 2.
And there's a Hex finished on Braille, but when you don't get the initiation, that item is dead gold. And something to note, they lost the gem in that last engagement. No longer does J.Storm have that true sight. And when you're playing against 2 Shadow Blade, or 1 Shadow Blade, whoa.
Puppy tried to stop Braille from taking the tier 2 tower on bottom lane, and then he realized just that, well, that's an Arc Warden and you're a support tiny too.
It's just so hard. Zai now, bots, Blink Force, and the gem, which means Secret's going to be able to control vision and capitalize. Batrider is one of those heroes. He doesn't provide much vision for his team, but he loves utilizing it. So if they have the ward advantage, it's so easy for him to find pickoffs. And you got to keep in mind, J.Storm, your only real catch is a Blink Sven and the Earth Spirit.
Moo's looking for it, but he's being attacked underneath Observer and Sentries from Team Secret. It's just the illusion of Nisha. But Zai is cleaning off the tree line around Roshan, grabbing any rune he can. Illusion runes make this even more difficult, because he can just scout out everywhere of J.Storm. And J.Storm did not find the Observer Ward. It's inside the lane on the top. That's what actually saw the initial gank that was being attempted by Moo, because he Shadowbladed underneath that Observer Ward.
And this is the problem with TB. Nisha is so good about utilizing his illusions. He has 1 mid that pushed the wave all the way to the tier 3 as they now make a big smoke move towards it. He's got 1 bottom as well. So again, so much pressure on the map from Secret at all times.
Lina, he Dragon Slaved up the hill, attacks the conversions. So now they'll 4-man smoke themselves. Braille is not included in that, and it's just an illusion of the Batrider that sees the TP out from the Arc Warden, and they look towards Roshan. There's 1 set of Basher inside, but there's your blink forward. They get the control, they get the lockdown. No way to hide inside that Shadow Blade with that stolen gem on Zai. And they're coming for Roshan, but they're here. The buyback's available for the Arc Warden. Are they really going to look to fight this one? Here comes Moo jumping in. YapzOr! Woo! Goodbye.
But Nisha, again, so good with the illusions, kills the Tombstone.
They're
now
waiting.
It's a fight.
Here's the jump in once again. Enigma's waiting for his own jump, and March just evaporates And J.Storm, they know they do not want to start this one up. If Team Secret want to start Roshan, that's fine by them.
And you can see a bit of the inexperience there from Bryle. Thinking a Shadow Blade is enough to save him, man. You know Bat has a gem. He walked straight into the waiting arms of Secret, who played where you'll see every elite tier team play when Roche is an objective and you're on Dire.
Oh,
this
jump
top
out,
shrine area.
Melon. He was trying to go for the Arfu, but no Thief for the night this time around. They are going to completely retreat back to their base and hope for their big wombo combo to try and save their tier 3s and racks.
And as expected, 35 minutes or so, Secret starts to blow the game open. Now they get the BKB up on Nisha, soon to have a Scotty. Like, this is the game that they've wanted to play this entire time. They've itemized for this portion of the game for that one fight into a Roche, and all of a sudden, they're the ones with the big lead.
But Mu does have his BKB, so he finally completed that item too. Farev actually moved off the Greaves he was going to buy and bought BT so he can jump around this map a little bit more freely.
Sven's talents are so underwhelming, man. 8 strength into 30 move speed.
Hey, -6 on the Meteor Hammer. Puppy, well, we've seen this situation before. Bryle just wants to continue the kill, but Puppy does defensive Yule Scepter and blink away. So difficult to get that instant lockdown when both Puppy as well as Yapsor have these Yule Scepters. Zai's on the hunt once more. He's got an Invis rune to work with. Observer and Sentry is up on the hill, and J.Storm are trying to wait underneath, but so Mu looking for the good jump in. They're able to get the Tombstone off Stormbolt onto the Bat Rider, but then again, the damage on Nisha is so heavy onto Millen, he's able to rolling boulder himself away, but with the Tombstones now, Bryle starts opening up, and the cleave from Mu, it's gonna be there. They'll get through the Terrorblade, so say goodbye to his Aegis Immortal, but that does give him a secondary life. The kick is perfect from Millen, giving them time to clean up mid one on the northern side of this fight, and then follow up into Zai. And they're looking for even more. Nisha and Puppy together. Millen jumping forward, able to get the double stun out. They got another decay, another lockdown, and they've got the stuns out once more. Nisha can't get away. Yep, with the Sunder, he'll have the extra life. No need to get away when you can just stand and fight. A triple kill for this Terrorblade. Bryle is very uncertain if he wants to have this fight, but he turned around and attacked. He doesn't have the extra help. He'll have to buy back in, but Puppy trying to capitalize on the situation, giving Nisha not only an ultra kill, but a full rampage. Where's the follow-up? It just ain't there. Rolling boulder away. These buybacks were for naught. In fact, it was in the negative.
And the bounty runes are now going to be collected by Secret. Terrorblade! Woo!
If he didn't get that Sunder off, I don't know if we got replays yet, but I'd love to see that again in slow motion. But it's just...
They just didn't have the damage.
Yeah, where was the follow-up? Like, they blew it early, but then they came back in for the fight. They willingly went for that.
I'm so surprised they went for it too, because they knew as soon as the
And they're going again. Millen caught in the bottom lane, pick him up, throw him around. Yapsor took the rolling boulder. Millen, there's no way he escapes from this, and Yapsor's got the interruption. Yule Scepters, that one was actually from Puppy. And Millen is now dead after. That's a dieback for him, so like 75 seconds on the sideline for that death.
On the bright side, Terrorblade can't buy any more items.
This is okay.
As soon as he finishes this Hurricane Pike. It's a Moon Shard, and then he's tapped out. But unfortunately, this is pretty much where the Secret lineup peaks, and you can just see the damage output of a TB. This is part of why this hero is so strong.
And they're already looking for it. Zai, fire flying around the back. He's got the lasso available. Farev tries to slow things down with the Midnight Pulse with the blink forward. Mu does have the Stormbolt, slows him down. They pick him up and throw him down, but Farev, he just doesn't have the life to survive through this, even with the pipe, even with the helm. He just cannot live through it all. A buyback is available. I think you'll actually have to commit it if Team Secret want to force the issue. For now,
Bryle?
He's just walking out. Luckily, it's just a coin for him. It's just harassment. It's just trying to be a pain in the butt.
That's a long cooldown, though.
It is.
Burn. I think
He's got 21 seconds left on it now.
That is available if they want to. No tomb.
Well, they keep it up for a little bit. Storm bolting, soul ripping. But they've lost it. March continuously stealing the life away from Nisha, but he's got 2.8k left still. And the jump forward. The gem was on the deck, and it was a trap. Puppy, he was going to get stunned up, but control isn't dying. He evaporated out. Mu looking for his fight, but Nisha, the Terrorblade. This is why he's in the meta. He is not a beast. He's a demon.
I don't know how you kill Nisha anymore.
We're back to game one, right?
Yeah, he started 0-2-1. He's currently 12-2-6. You give Nisha a free game, he will happily hold that for you, and cash his check for the win. I'm just such a clean game from Secret. I mean, yeah, it looked a little scary for them, but they never really lost their idea. Their game plan is pretty solid. You can see it in action. Level 25 TB. What do you do now, folks?
Well, what you do now is hit a perfect black hole and have Sven buy back, and that's what exactly they're looking for. Where's your jump in? Millen able to get the stun over on Terrorblade. Hex at the backside, so Zai can't get that extra control they're looking for. Not to mention Silent Stuff locked in. They have enough control, but with the Sun, Nisha gets a lot more life to just start his retreat, and they need to find the kills, but Secret, they're so quick to cut their losses and get the hell out.
And Nisha, I love the itemization. The Butterfly plus the Sanjin Yasha, he's at 497 base move speed. How do you catch him with the lack of stuns? J.Storm, like, you saw, they have the Hex and then the blink in from Sven, but it's just not enough to kill Nisha anymore, and every 5 seconds he's going to have a Sunder available. I don't know how you kill him. And yeah, we have an Enigma. Have we seen a critical black hole yet?
No.
And why does he have bots?
He was going to go for the Greaves. I think maybe J.Storm believed this was going to turn into a long split push game, and they needed the Enigma to be able to just side lane push. I don't know. I'm given some options. That's all.
The problem is no one itemized for team fighting. Mu went for his own game. You know, the Mask, the Shadow Blade, Blink BKB. If Enigma doesn't go for Greaves, like, there's no armor items picked up. You look at the side of Secret, like, they're winning the war now because their physical damage output is crazy, and it doesn't have any necessity to have reach. A Sven, part of the reason you're not picked, you're a melee carry. You get kited, you need Blink to get on top of heroes, 1 Force Staff, and Secret have 3. Just, you can't do damage anymore. Oh, they only have 1. It's just that Zai's great. No, they have 2. I thought for sure one of the supports would, but you know Yapsor isn't buying any team items. Blink kills Ags. This is why he loves Rubik.
He doesn't play any other way, but at the same time, like, why do you want him to? With Ag still on the fights, Yapsor controls so much, as long as he can survive, and maybe that's the other issue for J.Storm. We're seeing Mu prioritize just killing off that Rubik at the beginning of every single fight. It's like, you just don't want this guy there. And then they start chasing down other people. But Secret, they back up when they lose Zai. So maybe that's the different target switch they have to look towards.
And we've been talking a lot about Nisha, but I feel like something that's underreported is how the Secret supports always influence the game. When it gets this late, just look at their net worths. They're real heroes. They have impact. They've got core items up. Whereas
that rider's the lowest net worth on Team Secret.
You look at the Undying and the Earth Spirit, all they provide to their team is like a
Trial.
blink and an urn.
That damage is real nice, and not nice enough. Zai able to just four-staff himself away to safety, and that's the clone of Bryle. You see just how much paper Batrider is as long as they can get that first catch and they're coming in. They jump, there's your bolt, and it won't actually connect. Nish just so fast on the BKB, and he just turns the damage into it for Rev. The black hole's out, but no, he spent dies, and Yapsor steals it perfectly. Nish with a triple kill. He opens up a gaping black hole in J.Storm, and that is GG well played. 2-0 for Team Secret. That is a good start to their campaign here in KL.
Just like the panel predicted. Well done to those guys as well. I commend J.Storm for their performance. I think if they don't crush the lanes and rotate as well as they do, that game ends much faster. But props to Secret. They understood their game plan. They itemized for their win condition, which was just about when they closed it out. And you finally got your double black hole. And
I got it. I know the first one was pretty short, but we relied on Yapsor to get there at the right time. But like for me, like I want to give at least some props to J.Storm or Millen. Like you talk about like his early rotations. He still got 21 assists at the end of that game. They put up a fight. They gave us a close game. It wasn't just a 2-0. It was actually a proper game. So props to them, but it's still 2-0 to Secret.
Indeed it is. Much better performance though by J.Storm. I'm sure they'll take something out of that as they head into the lower bracket now of this particular group. Secret will move on to play the winners match, which will be our next game. But let's wrap up on that first series of the day. 2-0 Secret, Jensen. You know, you all called it. It's all fairly predictable, but it wasn't a predictable game, was it?
No, they actually
good start by J.Storm.
Yep, put up a pretty good fight. They were swapping their lanes around. They got the matchups they wanted, it seems. And like Bryle went godlike at one point in this game, which was pretty impressive. But then one one little fight of miscoordination, and you know, this Nisha player, he's pretty good. Gets a rampage.
He is pretty good. Yeah.
And we're gonna see that right here.
And this is the moment where they kind of just left him. He dies from Aegis, and then they just leave him. I feel like Sven should probably have stayed on him and just kill him again. But instead they run for a bad and Lina. And now he proceeds to get a rampage because of it.
I think it's like, oh, he's not Metamorph. He's not a threat. He's still a 6-slotted TB.
I was going to say, he's still
and
danger.
he can chase people down.
But at this point, it looked pretty good for J.Storm as well. Like, they had a pretty good win chance here, but yeah, after this fight, it just started looking real bad for them.
Seems like TB, once he gets 6-slot, level 25 talent, it's just like, how do you actually beat this hero? And you can try shut him down in lane. He went, I think, 0-2. But he still was keeping up and even out farming a Midas Arc Warden because he's TB and he can jungle. Like, that's just what this hero does. He farms lane, dies maybe once, goes jungle, keeps up, can ancient, farms everything.
Yeah, and his team, they went like a little bit of, like, I guess, kind of weird items. They went double bots early on, like 15-20 minutes on the Bat Rider plus the Lina. But it seems like they were just like, all right, well, all we really need to do is just delay the game. Delay the game till TB, till Nisha's able to farm up. We can just look for these kind of crazy plays on the side. And just, let Nisha do what he does best, and that's farm as a Terrorblade. And
we looked at this, like, we were sitting watching the game and just felt like, okay, it's looking good for J.Storm, but they're going to lose eventually, and that's exactly what happened. Because Sven against Terrorblade, you slow him with Skadi, you slow him with Reflection, and then if he doesn't get that jump with Sven, then the hero's kind of bad.
Yeah. Rubik also having used God Strength there, so the Terrorblade's damage was through the roof because it was like a Rubik with Aghanims, and then he gets Black Hole on top. It's just nice little crisp clean off for a secret at the end there.
Yeah. I'm always excited when you see an Enigma because it's a black hole, right? Yeah. And then always excited when Toby gets to cast those because it's an iconic combination. And then even more excited to think that actually get extra black holes because Yapzor is in the game with a Rubik. And that's exactly what we've got. There's the scoreboard to wrap things up in this second game of the series, a 2-0 sweep for Secret. Bit of a shout out for Bryle, by the way. 13, 2, and 5 on that Arc Warden for J.Storm. Nisha on the other side, 15, 2, and 7.
Yeah, look at the damage numbers for me is the craziest thing. Like, Terrorblade's damage, what, 40, is that 46,000?
46,291.
And then Sven's damage is 13,000.
That sums up the problems with Sven right now pretty well.
He can't get into the fights. He just can't.
We were talking about that backstage, weren't we? We sort of walked off and went, wow. But it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't a game winner, was it?
I mean, Bryle was like the game winner, but it's a lot of pressure to put on a solo hero Arc Warden when you're playing versus a Bat Rider who can just, if he does like the lasso on this arc, the majority of their team is just gone because Yapzor is probably going to be in position to be okay versus the Enigma. Yeah, it seemed like it was a good start for them, but ending that game seemed like it was going to be so difficult as it just progressed. As TB hits 25, Lina hits 25.
Yeah. There was a couple of people up for grabs in terms of the MVP. We're doing series MVP, by the way, now.
Series.
There were a couple of people on our radar. Yapzor probably would have won it, other than the fact that right towards the end of the second game, there was a rampage by this man who has stolen away the MVP for the first series of the day. I think it's well-deserved overall, gents.
Yeah, definitely. If we look back at that Morphling as well, absolutely crushed that game, the Miran in the lane, so I feel it's well-deserved, for sure.
I like seeing the skills. Look at the skills that he has when he's leveling. It shows warrior form, then it has a flat cannon in there, a missile.
From the Jara in the first game. Yeah, that's good stuff by Nisha. It's a great start by Secret, Fog, didn't it? In a way, I mentioned at the start of the very beginning of the show today that they come into this as the favourites, right? Because of the performances they've had twice on LAN, winning 2 tournaments already. They come here looking like the sharpest team out of the box. Obviously, a win is helpful to start off things, but is there a danger for them that they've already shown their hand in the previous games, or do you feel like they've been so wild with their drafts and Puppy's been quite smart with the whole, let's pick Legion Commander, for instance, and Brew and everything else, that actually they can stay ahead of the meta?
I think they definitely can. I mean, we've been in this patch for ages and ages and ages, and we see them pulling out new strategies time and time again. Right now, this was the first time they did the 5 tiny, I think.
I think it is.
Yeah, so they're already showing that they can vary a little bit more.
Their pool's big enough, like with their supports, their cores, Nisha's Morphling. I respect Bennett, but he can then play the standard TBs as well. He'll play a PL. I think they're not really all that limited. Mid ones always had one of the biggest hero pools as far as mid players goes. The fact he also plays the safe lane as well in so many games is incredible. He's definitely one of the most flexible core players on any top tier team.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, do you see anyone else winning, Henrik, other than Secret? Should we all just pack up now and go home?
Definitely not. I think Secret is doing great and all that, but I feel like there's a lot of teams that can easily beat them, like LGD, VP, and all those boys. Definitely don't feel like Secret is got it in the bag. Not even close.
Okay. These chairs are a bit weird, by the way. I look over at you and I think, you need a fireplace and a book and a pair of slippers, and then you need to tell us a story, Henrik.
I don't tell any stories.
Well, back in my
That's your
day.
job as a host.
No, it just reminds me that,
No.
yeah, you see, that could work.
No
You
stories
have a nice robe.
of Ake and
I bet you've got
Soda?
some I bet you've got really good. It's just us now. No one's watching, right? We're on a break. Nobody's actually tuned in. Just tell us one of those like stories from the early Alliance time.
Yes. The story says I wanted to pick a hero, and I got to choose between Lone Druid and Furion. That's all I got to choose from.
Well, we know that story.
Yeah, that's all we had back then.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't have any fun, or what did you do after you won?
After we won,
Yeah. What did you do when you left? Did you get back to sleep, or did you go out?
no, we went out to a party, and
Yeah.
after party, me and Esper went out with some grills. Took them back to the hotel,
Okay.
had a bit of an orgy.
Right.
Just normal stuff after you win TI.
normal stuff. Okay. What about you, Fog? Have you ever celebrated properly at the end of an event when you've won one? Oh no, hang
No,
on.
I've only lost.
Wrong question. Yeah. Gods, have you ever done that when you've won
I
a
didn't even
tournament?
get to the event. I won my small local land in Australia.
See, they're the ones that win, aren't they?
30
They're the
people
real-
like
that's
that.
where the real play happens.
Yeah. That's where
Local
there's
land.
a lot more beef at those small local lands too, because you
Yeah.
all know each other and play online, and there's a lot of shit talking going on.
Yeah,
so.
no, that's where it used to come from, right? Were you one of those guys that would stand up over the other side? They'd be on the other side of the table, and you'd be like, "Good, you're done, you're out."
No, I had teammates like that though.
Did you?
Which is great. Like I wanted those guys on my side.
Yeah.
Oh, which player is that one?
A young kid called Boons, you might know.
Okay.
He's played in a few teams. I think who else on the N9 squad was. Yeah, Alex Shatan was kind of vocal.
Shatan was.
Yeah, he's a clown.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
he's probably the funniest from that Australian mix. But
I
the
can
new
imagine-
Australian era players are pretty quiet, like KP. Hannah.
Really? See, I always
These-
imagine like because the CS Australian players were
Yeah.
Larry as hell, right? Always really loud. So I always imagine maybe it was all the games were like that, but
No,
Maybe not.
Dota ones, for whatever reason, track the different species of Australian, I guess.
higher etiquette.
Yes, the classy Dota players.
Classy level of play. I like it. Right, we're going to head to a break, and we'll reminisce and we'll take some questions as well. So don't forget to fill out the questions that you've got on the community thread as well. Also, shout out to all of the people that you can watch this particular event on. We've got Twitch, we've got Facebook, we've got Steam TV, and we've got Snipe TV, which you can watch an enhanced view of the tournament with multi-views on as well. When we come back from the break, we may be giving you the stream from the other game because it hasn't finished yet. So we'll wait until that one's finished, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the winners bracket match between Secret and who knows? We'll find out shortly.